going on, everyone? It is episode 184, recorded on Monday, October 9th, 2023.
Whoa.
I'm Drew. And hey, John, what did the vampire say to the teacher?
What?
I'll see you next period.
Oh my God.
What is up, everybody? On tonight's episode, Scary Movie Season is back. We have some updates for you. We have waited so long for Wargroove 2, and it's finally here. Did it meet the hype? We will let you know. And the Apple Review winners, will be announced on tonight's episode. John, it's spooky season, it's scary season, it's autumn, it's fall. It's great to have it back. How you been, buddy?
I like that you foreshadowed saying spooky and then saying scary. That is a foreshadow, ladies and gentlemen.
Little jump the gun there.
I want to point out, while you were telling your joke, I opened up a Liquid Death. I got a new flavor, saw it in Target today, and I love Liquid Death. And we've been focused on the teas. This one is Convicted Melon. Great.
I haven't had that one.
Great title. I've had nothing but the teas for months and months. They're so good. And I took a drink of this and it was like carbonated. And I did not expect that at all. So that was a authentic
aren't they all
reaction
carbonated?
Not the teas, no.
Oh, maybe that's my problem. I'm going to try the tea.
Yeah, I think the water is carbonated. We had that at Kuz's. And then the lime one, I forget what they call the lime. Yeah, and this one was not a tea, but I was like, it's melon, it'll be fine. But it was not what I was expecting. Kind of a shock.
Would you go back again?
Drew, we have to talk about the state of our football teams.
Just football. Yeah, football.
Now, it is depressing, and from what I understand, we play each other this year, which is going to be probably the saddest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But at least one of us will get a win. Yesterday, the Broncos were 0-3, and they beat the Bears last week on the back of a 24-point run in the fourth quarter, which was fantastic.
It was.
It was great. My friend and I, we did not expect that to happen. And then it was like, all right, this week we're playing the Jets at home. We could win this, and we'll get massacred. We'll get massacred by the Chiefs this Thursday, but let's get to 2-3, and then you have a little bit of hope. Maybe we can win and get back to 500. And for the first half of that game, it looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then the second half, the Broncos did I think 5 drives in a row, 3 and out. The Jets had a 75-yard run. My God. And watching the offensive coordinator of the Jets celebrate like he did something, because the Jets offense is still pathetic, was so sickening. But I feel like the season is already over. It's all about trading the veterans and playing the young guys. And I'm looking at your team, and then they can't score points. Mac Jones has gotten benched twice.
He stinks. He stinks. I mean, we've been outscored 69-3 in the last 2 games.
Nice.
That's pathetic. That's Bill Belichick's worst. I think the 35-3 or whatever it was is the most he's ever let up in his points against him. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm at the point I just want the Patriots to lose every game. That way we get first round pick. So when we play you guys on Christmas Eve, I actually want to lose, I think.
Well, by the time Christmas Eve comes, that's towards the end of the year. So that definitely is rooting. When I was driving home after the Bears game last week, where we had won and went to 1-3, there were fans that were upset because they wanted to lose. Yeah. They wanted to lose. And I still can't believe that, because it's week 4. Are you really going to root against your team all year? But yeah, Patriots at Broncos, Christmas Eve is the third to last game of the year. There's 2 games after that. So by the time that comes around, we might be rooting for our teams to lose.
Yeah. I'm going to a game upcoming, and it's a lot of money. to go to a football game, especially the Patriots, because of the skyrocket and the price value over all the years they were good, right?
That's gonna have to come down a little bit.
I pay, I think, around $200 a ticket to go.
Jeez.
I mean, they're good seats. We're like on the 35 yard line, like only like 25 rows back from the field. My brother has season tickets, so I go one game a year with him. But it's getting to the point, like, you do that, you have some beers, maybe you have to lunch or dinner before or after, you hang out. Like, it's an expensive day to watch my team get their ass kicked.
And it'll take up the whole day.
Oh, it's a whole day affair.
Yeah.
It's a whole day. So, I don't know. It's getting to the point where it's like, when the Patriots are on, I almost would just rather watch the Red Zone.
It's true.
It's the truth.
You said you're going next week?
No. First week in November, I want to say it is.
Who do they play? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I should know, but I don't remember. I'd have to look it up.
I mean, it's probably like Jets or
I usually
Dolphins
try to pick
Bills.
a shitty team.
I know.
It's not the Dolphins or Bills.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of I honestly, I still have it in my soul to root against the Patriots.
Washington, playing the Commanders.
Oh, you got it. You got a chance.
I try to pick them out. Yeah, I got a chance.
Yeah. It's in my DNA now at this point to root against the Patriots because all those years. But now that Brady's gone, I really don't care. But do you think Belichick has lost some luster? Like, was it really? Because it was always a question of who was it? Was it Brady or Belichick? And then Brady went to the Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. Your offensive line blows. I mean, Matt Jones sucks. It's just there's a lot, right? I mean, the Patriots are always used to just be like a grinding team with really solid defense and like kind of like wait patiently for their opportunities a little bit. And now they can't do anything. I'm getting mad just thinking about it, John.
I know when you have Tom Brady, all of those. Remember, like, they had a lot of bad receivers. They had good receivers, but they always had like average receivers, and Brady would make them look like gods.
Yeah.
Sometimes
exactly.
When you have the quarterback, you have the GOAT, all of those, the offensive line problems and everything can all get massaged over.
And then you get the adrenaline running, and it's like, this guy makes a great catch, and again, good throw. So now the next guy's it gets like the team mojo going, and then the defense gets a sack. Everyone's pumped up. Right. I mean, that's a lot of what football is. It's getting that, getting that run going.
Yeah. And we had that with Peyton too. Like nobody wanted to mess up for Peyton,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And, when your whole team kind of stinks, you don't get that.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Belichick. I know they're trying to get him the all-time win record, but
how many does he need?
Don, what's his name? Shula. I don't know. I think he's like 20 games behind. I don't know.
Okay. 20?
I don't know, actually. NFL.
Okay.
Most wins for coach. All right. So anyways, how much going on with spooky season for you? Fall.
We went to the pumpkin patch.
Nice.
Saturday.
He needs 10 more wins. No, I'm sorry. He needs 29. Not happening.
29 wins?
The tie.
Maybe by 2030 he'll get that one. No, we went to the pumpkin patch on Saturday. We hadn't been to the one near us in a while. We've gone to one that was further north that I still kind of like more. But we went to the pumpkin patch as usual. We didn't even buy pumpkins.
So let me ask you about this, because this is a topic I just had recently.
Mm-hmm.
The pumpkin patch is like a cool idea, right? You go to the pumpkin patch, all these pumpkins spread out. You can go physically pick out the pumpkin you want still on the vine and bring it home. How much do they charge per pound out there in Denver?
No, I think they charge by not pound, but by size.
It's small, medium, and large type thing?
Yeah, something like that.
So they charge 75 cents a pound. Do you know how much like those, like if you want to buy like a big jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, it's like 20 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
So you're paying like 15, 18 bucks, and you have to go fucking pick it yourself.
I know, you got to carry it to the car.
Not that I want to go support big bot stores like Walmart or Home Depot or whatever to buy a pumpkin, but you can get them for like $8.
Yeah, and you can just go to the supermarket.
And you put it in the carriage and you throw it in your trunk. I don't have to like get a wheelbarrow and go through the dirt and the mud and cut the vine and twist. I get it's the experience. Listen, I did it a lot when the kids were smaller.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
you don't need
your
to do
kids are old. Like, let's go do the corn maze. I'll do the hay ride. I'll do the axe throwing. Let's do the more fun stuff.
Yeah, we did the corn maze, and I love the food trucks. Like, I'm there for, like,
Oh,
the
yes.
food and the treats and all that
Yep,
stuff.
same. Yep. Candy
We had a
apple with some
funny
sauce. Yeah,
incident.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I went with my brother-in-law and his wife, and they have 2 young kids,
Mhm.
3 and 1? 3 and
They're
1.
probably taking pictures in the pumpkin patch.
And it's like, it's that time, you're getting to that point now where you're realizing, wow, when your kids were that young, that was like a whole different time. And they're 3 and 1, which is funny because my brother-in-law is the same age as me, but like my kids are like, hey, what's going
Yeah, yeah.
on or whatever. And so the first thing we did when we got there was we met them. They were in line for a bouncy house. Okay.
Okay.
So we were next in line, and I'm getting ready. I'll take some pictures from the side, that sort of thing, whatever.
Mhm.
And but they're next in line. They're waiting for the 3 minutes for the group of 4. And all of a sudden, and there's the guy who runs the ride. He's kind of sitting there in front of the ride, and all of a sudden the generator kicks out,
Oh,
and
jeez.
the
What? His
castle
brother's
is
kids in there?
castle's starting to deflate. And there's about 8 kids, I would guess,
Oh my
that are
god, that's
in the
incredible.
castle. And everyone's like looking around, like, what's going on? And the castle's deflating. And I immediately run over and like grab like a corner, and I'm trying to like hold it up. And the kids inside are starting to panic
Natural dad
immediately.
instinct.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to hold the thing up
Oh
and
my god.
keep it up, and like so the kids can get out. But not all the kids are getting out. They're scared and
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. And then some other people are coming over trying to hold it up or whatever. And it didn't really occur to me, but there's kids inside. And so my sister-in-law, she's like, I'm gonna go in and get those kids out or whatever. And she hands me the 1-year-old. And the 1-year-old, her name is Blakely, is in a mode where she just wants her mom and that's it.
Sure.
And she will not look at you or whatever. And she immediately starts crying.
The
So
mom's
I'm
in
like,
superhero mode. She's gone.
I've got one hand trying to hold up the castle, not doing a great job, mind you. And then I'm holding a crying baby. And she goes in there like total superhero. I was like, God, I don't even know why I didn't think about going in there.
Yeah, I just grabbed the corner.
Yeah. And so I realized like, baby's like squirming in my hand or whatever. I love the kid, but like right now she just does not like me.
Mm.
So I turn around to look for my kids so I can give them Blakely so I can use 2 hands and help out or
Sure.
whatever. And I turn around and my kids they're with the 3-year-old, and they're holding him up, and they're all like smiling and laughing or whatever. And I'm like turning back, and there's these kids screaming bloody murder as they're dying in
So
this
you're literally,
castle.
yes, watching kids dying and have a crying baby, and they're just enjoying
Greatest
life.
time in the world or whatever. And I was
No,
like,
oblivious to what's going on.
oblivious. And I called to them or whatever. And around that time, my wife came over and whatever. But it was pretty funny. And
So wait, so did like they get it back up, or like they literally just shit the bed?
so they were like, after they got all the kids out, and this guy who was sitting in front of the castle didn't say a word the entire time. Like, I don't think he was ever briefed or prepared. Like, what would
Was this
happen
a
if the
teenager
castle tipped
kid
down?
working collecting tickets at the
A
bouncy house?
little bit older. Yeah, but like not a teenager, but a little bit older.
Yeah, there's no like training on Monday morning. Like this is what happens when the bounce house goes down this
Yeah.
weekend.
There's only one thing that can happen to a bounce house, and it could be the power cuts out and it deflates, right? What else
Or a
can
hole,
happen?
yeah,
It goes on
a
fire.
regardless,
Flood.
it goes down. Yes.
Yeah. But he just like he didn't say anything, or he didn't have like oh, I got to get the kids out or whatever. So he was trying to like pull the belt and get the generator going, and then it got on, and then it went down. So we left.
That's
And
incredible.
then we meandered around, and then somehow we came back to and went online again. I don't know why.
You went back in line for it?
I mean, it wasn't my kids. It was like my sister-in-law wanted to do the thing
So
again.
hold
So
on,
I was
but
like,
she
okay.
was gonna put a 1-year-old in the bounce house with other kids?
And yeah, I don't know. You know what? Honestly, maybe she wasn't going to might not have put the 1-year-old in there.
Okay.
Just at least the 3-year-old. Yeah. I didn't really think about
So
that.
did they go back in?
No, it died again.
So did the
So
money
it's like,
while you were in line?
while we were in line, the castle died again. And
Was
so
there kids in it
we
again?
left. No.
Kids in there, you're like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not helping. I'm out.
Right. They left it running for a little while because they wanted to make sure it was stable, but then
Yeah.
it wasn't stable or whatever. So
You get your money back at least? Well, not you.
oh no, we paid to get in, and then that was it. There was no tickets or anything.
There wasn't.
It was just,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I like
So,
that. You know, how much? I gotta ask you again. Denver prices. How much is a corn maze out in Denver?
well, admission to this whole place was like 17. That's gone. I don't know. Admission was like $17, and that included the corn maze, and those little amusements, and then like a little barrel truck, like a barrel ride.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things too, where you see something that looks really fun, and then it's like, oh, that's extra.
Of course.
And then, the food trucks obviously are extra. And all that stuff. They were doing bales of hay. They were making little bales of hay.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, what was the price on that? And it was like just donation. So my sister-in-law paid like $1. And I was like, I want to get a bale of hay. Because at first I was like, what are you going to do with that? And I was like, oh, what a great little decoration for your pumpkins. So
listen,
I
did that once. And let me tell you, the insets that came out of that thing came like during, it attracts. You don't do it.
Oh,
like I kept it up. Thanksgiving's the same type of fall, and I think I threw it away after Thanksgiving. And it like flies and ants and spiders and any insects. Maybe I did a bad hay set, but I don't know.
I would never have thought of that. Okay, now I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, smart play. You knew.
What are you doing?
I did 2 corn mazes this weekend.
They're not that exciting.
2 pumpkin patches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. The first one was fun. The first one's kind of near my house. We like going there because they do like pick your own potatoes, and the potatoes are really good. And they do.
Whoa! Pick your own potatoes?
Oh, you haven't lived until you pick your own potatoes. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I think I'll live.
They're delicious, fresh out of the ground. They also have.
What do you take a bite out of it?
It's like going to the apple orchard. You just dig right into that sucker. Have you ever had apple cider donuts?
I think so at some point.
Oh, they're pretty good. We got those and apple cider. But anyways, the corn maze at the first place we went to, I liked because it's like a scavenger hunt within the corn maze. And you have to find all these letters and unscramble a word. And then if you do, you get 1 free pound off of your pumpkin. Which is
1 pound.
Irrelevant. Well, I mean, if you pay for 4 people, though, that's 4 pounds.
Oh, I see. Okay, everybody.
But it's irrelevant because I wasn't buying the fucking pumpkins because they're overpriced to begin with.
Because it's a 20-pound pumpkin, so it's like 19 pounds.
Yeah. But that one was fun. And then today we went to another place that had the food trucks, like you said. That was key.
Mm-hmm.
That was really. There's something about like French fries at a food truck that are just delicious.
Yeah, because they're usually right out of the fryer.
Yeah, there was good.
What did you eat?
I had some sausage, onions, and peppers. We had some cotton candy and some French fries. We kind of split a little bit all of everything. And actually, I think Zoe had some fried Oreos.
I had a kielbasa with sausage and peppers, although it wasn't very good. I was very disappointed.
I mean, it's food truck. It's like the carnival food truck. But it wasn't
food trucks. I expect more from food trucks because they're not. They're there. Their food trucks are supposed to be really good. Mine was disappointing, but there was a crepe truck, and we had like a Nutella crepe and a cinnamon, and they were amazing.
Yeah,
so that was great.
So then we went to this corn maze today. This corn maze itself was better, but instead of a scavenger hunt, they had random trivia scattered throughout. But John, remember when you think of corn maze, it's really for kids, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, the adults are fun. But the trivia was like, who invented, like in 1904, who invented the X-ray machine? And I'm like,
yeah, there's a little overkill there.
Like, but why? And then it was like, who invented the vaccine for this? I was like, what? Who invented the telephone? Like, I know that one, but what's the point? It doesn't make a difference to me. Like, why not have in what Disney movie was there a fish named Nemo?
In the Terrifier, the first victim is killed by what?
They do have you can go back at night and go with a flashlight. It's not like a haunted one, but that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, they charged me $15 a person just to do the fucking corn maze.
Wow. Wait, was there admission into the place?
No, this was just you buy tickets, whatever you want.
And it was just okay. So the corn maze was separate. Everything was separate.
$5 for the hay ride. There was no rides.
No way I would pay $15 a person for a corn maze.
What am I going to say? I get that. Sorry, kids, we're not doing it.
Just send the kids in. Just pay for them. You're on your own, kids. Here's a flashlight.
Actually, I think the kids might have been half price. I think they were cheaper, but still,
Yeah, that's
$15 for me and Amy.
ridiculous. It's a corn maze. I will tell you that when we did the corn maze this time, I let the kids go on their own. I said, "You guys just stay together."
Yeah.
But because last time we did a corn maze, we had a stroller and we were going through with a stroller, and it was
Oh, that sounds
slow.
terrible.
And it was like last year. It was terrible. And I was like, "You guys, you go in, and we'll go separately. You guys just stay together and go in." It was much more fun.
Should have brought cannoli.
Wow. Yeah.
Did yours have any trivia or scavenger hunts or anything?
No, not this one. The one last year did, and it does make it more interesting. This one, I don't love corn mazes like I used to, but I got I don't know, we couldn't find our way, and it was one of those mazes where the entrance and the exit are the same place, which is stupid.
Wait, what?
Like the exit should be distinctly a different place.
Yeah, of course.
But I think you're supposed to find a bridge somewhere, and then once you're over the bridge, as long as you don't cross the bridge, if you get back, then you're done. And we never found the bridge, and they usually give you like a map. They didn't give out maps. So it was like,
Sounds
okay,
like a scam.
I respect that we're saving some trees, but like I didn't understand what I was supposed to do. And eventually we made our way and we got back to the beginning, and I was like, I'm good. I mean, we were in there for like 20 minutes. So I was like, fine. What do I care? Fine. Like I'm not rolling credits here. I don't, so I was
not 100% completed this thing.
Yeah.
50%. I saw the credits.
I know. I was bored. So
really quick, I know we've been talking. I did a bring up. So Evan's been begging us for about a year now to join Cub Scouts. And you know me by now. You know me long. I am like the furthest away from like outdoorsy person. I mean, I do what I need to do to get by. So I was hesitant. But they started a new troop that's literally a half a mile from my house where they meet. We know the troop leader. He's a good friend of one of his best friends. And all of his friends were going to join it together at the same time. So I'm like, okay, I'm in. So we go the first week. And, they do the Cub Scouts, they kind of do like, they do like a lesson learned type thing. Then they do something nature related. And then they do some type of sport or activity, physical activity. Like that's what the three things every week. And it's only like a 40-minute thing. So I was like, all right, I'm down for this. They meet every Thursday night though, which is a lot. But here's the cool part that I liked. So we created we get there and all the dads were kind of ended up bringing their kids because we were like, and then we're like, well, do you stay? Do you leave? Do you bring alcohol? Like, what do we do? And so we stayed and we just started creating like this dad club, and it's fucking fantastic. There's like 4 of us and we just hang out and we bullshit and we drink alcohol out of like Yeti cups, and it's just great. And it's just like now it turns into this escape for us dads. And now we're starting to plan every Thursday. We're going to go to the bar afterwards, bring the kids and order some pizza and just have a couple beers. It's like the nice guys' night out now. It's more for me now than Evan.
Yeah, are the kids having beers? Because this sounds like your Little League. There was beer involved with the Little League and then beer involved with the Cub Scouts. I'm getting a little worried.
The best part is the poor guy that we know, also a dad, he fits right in with us, but he's running like the whole meeting. Yeah. We're all like, like 50
drunk in the
feet
back
away, like 20 yards away. And we're just like at a picnic table, like just like watching, drinking our drink. Yeah, you're doing good, Mike. Good work, buddy. And he's, he has like 8, 7-year-olds just creating havoc, and we're all just watching. Like none of us are going to be like, do you need a hand, Mike? Like, no. Like, you volunteered for this, just like I volunteered to coach soccer. This is on you, not me. And it's great. Living it up. I'm excited for Thursday. But 180 here. We had to go to the Cub Scout store today because, we gave him a couple weeks to make sure he liked it before we committed to buying anything. How much would you say it costs to buy him the Cub Scout full, I don't know, uniform? I don't know. What do you call it?
The blue thing with the handkerchief?
Blue thing, the handkerchief, the hat, the belt buckle, pants.
Mean, like, part of me wants to say $70, but I have a feeling it's going to be like $110.
How about $180 fucking dollars, Sean?
That's how they make their money, right? They're just like, oh, you got to buy it.
Then you have to pay like a yearly due. That's $150. Mm-hmm. I could buy a whole Nintendo Switch for this.
$150 for yearly dues seems cheap compared to the.
Does it?
Right? I mean, what is it like? A meeting every week or?
meet it every week, but we don't get anything from it.
The kids do.
Well, what do they get? What do you mean? What do they
Did you forget your kids in the Cub Scouts? We're in the back. We have to pay for our own alcohol.
Do we have some of the troop funding?
No, but like $150 for, let's just say 40 weeks a year.
I think it follows a school year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like, yeah, let's say 35 weeks or 30, even 30 weeks, like $5 a meat. I mean, that sounds actually pretty reasonable.
It's not like anything's coming out of the meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the money?
What do they do during a Cub Scout meet?
Well, they talked about fruits and vegetables. They rode bikes. They talked about safety gear. They went on a hike. Like, they're not doing anything that like is money. So where's that money going?
Well, the people that are running it, the insurance, the the lawsuits. They need the money.
The raping.
But I feel like they're getting their money on that outfit like separately, right?
Oh yeah,
because you need to get the outfit, right? You can't be
the one kid that doesn't have the handkerchief.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have the outfit on, so they're like, oh look. They probably advertise it. It's only $150 a year, and then it's like, but it's $180 for the outfit, which probably cost them $10.
They change it. Like he's a tiger. Next year he's a wolf. So what does that mean? They'll buy all new shit with the wolf on it. You know, what a scam. That's my soapbox today. All right, John. We are brought to you today by Manscaped, who has taken a step up from the Balloween to bring your face the cleanest shave it's ever seen. So this season, no need to toil and trouble. Manscaped's all-new Handyman is the best way to get rid of that stubble. Featuring a compact design and next-gen skin-safe technology, the Handyman was designed to give you that smooth finish without the mess of a traditional shave. Get the sweetest treat this Halloween by going to manscaped.com and using the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping. Now, John, we were lucky enough to get a free Handyman, I guess you could say. Have you used it?
Free Handyman.
A free Handyman. Now I have used it. Have you used it yet?
I couldn't. I don't. Look at this. Look at this beautiful mane. A handyman. So a handyman's the trimmer, the shaver, not the trimmer, but like electric
you were
shaver.
Good for the beard trimmer. The handyman was made for this smooth baby bum's face. Now, I love the handyman. The way I shave maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and I always use something like the handyman to give like the nice clean face. I take a shower, and then I get the straight razor and I just clean anything up after once the face is nice and warm. I'll say this handyman is slick. I don't know if I would use this if you didn't shave for like 1 to 2 weeks. It's probably gonna maybe hurt a little bit more. But if you just have like stubbles, like after a couple, like 1 to 2 days, maybe 3 days, it just cleans it up so nice. It's pretty powerful for being so small. Super easy to use. It's great. I love it. I thought this is a product I'm going to be using now weekly. This is like I'm replacing my old one I have, and I'll be using the Handyman. So highly recommend it.
Very nice. I'm letting my son use it, and every so often I ask him, but his beard doesn't grow that quickly right now. So I'm going to keep updates for the kids.
For something like that, to be honest.
I'm going to give a little spoiler here, Drew, but this showed up today.
Wow, what's that?
Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra.
What's the difference?
It's got to be better, right?
It's a new lawnmower?
So I'm going to be trying out this week, and next show I'm going to report back.
I just shaved my balls yesterday.
I know. I was thinking of maybe like getting one for my brother, and I was like, "Oh, I got this one," but it's like, no, I have to try this out so I can talk about it. But maybe I can package up my old one and send it to him.
Just clean it really good. I know. I have. Sloppy. I think I gave my brother an old one.
Here's the sloppy seconds. I mean, it shouldn't matter, right? But it's like, no, man. He was like shaving his pubes with this. I can't use it now.
Let's be real for a minute.
Too close.
If my pubes touched your pubes, what's gonna happen? Like, what's honestly like? It's just pubes.
I mean, if they're still attached to our bodies, I don't think I'd be that comfortable with it.
I agree with that one. But if I cut my pubes, you cut your pubes, and we mished them together, not a big deal. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right, John, what have we been playing this week?
It's bad. We've been playing Wargroove 2.
Yes, we have.
I almost bailed on this game. I was getting a little worried going in that it was going to be the thing that I heard from a couple reviews, and I never read reviews before. Like when there's a game I know I'm going to get, I never read reviews. And people are saying it was like, it's more of the same or whatever. And it got 8 out of 10s, kind of thing. But I was like, I don't know if I want to just do another campaign just to do a campaign. And so this game has, from what I have heard, three different campaigns that are smaller than the first game's big campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has the roguelite mode. And then it has a more expansive level editor. The first game had a level editor as well, but this one lets you do storylines and stuff like that.
Okay.
So what do you think? You started it first.
I did.
What are your thoughts?
I'm just perfect description. I've played the tutorial campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I've played the second, I guess really the first main campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And I've played the second campaign. I'm pretty far in. So I've played the first 2 campaigns. And then in the Conquest mode, which is the roguelite one, I've beaten it 3 times, and there's different ways. I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's start with just the main campaign, which is a story-driven sequence of battles and acts throughout the game. How far are you, I guess? Let's start off with that.
Well, I finished the prologue campaign, and I think I finished 1 level of the first campaign.
So I've been playing a lot. I'm loving it. I think they're trying to do a little too much for the storyline for me. I just feel like there's a lot of dialogue. And there's a little bit of humor and stuff in there. The first campaign is the mouse or the mice, that's a new race, I guess you could call it, right?
Yep.
I like it. It's unique. It's different. What I love about Wargroove, if you haven't played Wargroove, and if you've played, you have to compare it to Advance Wars, so it's just so similar. I just love the different style and races of the different character types. I think it's so fun and cool to see. And Wargroove does a really good job introducing you at a small level, just like Advance Wars does, and builds up new troops as you get further into the game. But overall, I loved the first campaign. It was simple, but yet challenging and fun. I think I did fail maybe twice on 2 different levels. I love all the different unique designs of all the leaders. But I think the dialogue was a little much for me. I found myself almost Jim and B, like reading it, but like reading it super fast. They do have kind of this cool, unique voice acting, which you see in a lot of games now, like almost like not AAA games, like tier B games, where they like say a couple words out of a sentence, which is kind of that new style, which is cool and unique because they did get the voice acting involved. It's something. But the game's a lot of fun. To your point, John, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of these new things. There are some new races and stuff, introduce new characters. I haven't seen, I don't think, a new troop. I think all the troops...
maybe I'm wrong. The mice have this like ostrich looking thing.
Oh, you're right. That is new. So they can like fly across gaps.
Yeah.
So you're right. You're
not
right.
A bird, but yeah.
Correct. They do fly against. I guess so that is a new one. I
haven't gotten a feel for it yet.
Yeah, so they can fly across gaps and land on little things. So that is pretty unique.
Right.
But as far as the campaign goes, I mean, obviously I loved it. I played through almost 70% of the game already in the campaigns. A lot of dialogue. I mean, before we move on to the other story, I mean, what's your thoughts on the campaign version of it?
Yeah, it can be a little chatty, but I'm still early on, so I'm kind of chalking it up to they're just teaching the game a little bit. It seems like in like the first level that I did, like the prologue obviously has some dialogue, but it's like I felt like every move it was like, oh, here we go, and it was like, hey, I got to chat a little bit more, and it was like I'm trying to make something. So in that first level, you have to survive 9 turns. And they're like, oh, hang on, I got a few more turns you got to go. And it has gotten definitely a little chatty. But like I said, I'm early on. They're still teaching me some things. So whatever. It feels like Wargroove. I like the mice. I don't like the special move that the mouse has where it like rotates the people around.
Oh, that's
it's great
confusing.
It's great near water because you can literally rotate the enemies and then just plop them in water.
Yep, they just
But
fall in.
like on land, it's not as useful. There's different strategies for it, but whatever. Not the most intuitive, exciting thing in the world. But yeah, there's a few little tweaks and changes. I'm trying to remember them all. I took screenshots and I don't have my Switch with me. I'll grab it probably after I finish talking here. One of them is, and it's just like Into the Breach, where one time per game you can replay your turn from the beginning.
Yes.
So if you've made like 5 or 6 moves because you make a bunch at once, you can just restart that one time, which I think is great. And that's what Into the Breach does. And I like that because sometimes you just do the wrong thing or you just brain fart or whatever. So I kind of like that. And then I think they said too, and I need to verify this, but they said too that when your commander does attacks or makes kills, it increases their Wargroove gauge.
Yep.
In the first game, you had to do it with the commander. This time, if any of your army makes kills or does attacks, it will raise your commander's gauge. And I'm trying to I've always tried to attack more with my commander when I have the option to get the Wargroove meter up. Yeah, and when you get that Wargroove, like I love Mercia, and she healths up your characters.
Oh, I love her too. Yeah.
But I need to find out. I don't know if it raises it at the same amount or not. But you can use your other characters, and I have a feeling that's why they did it, because people were just trying to overuse the commander all the time. So that's different. There's a couple other differences I need to look at, but yeah, I do like the roguelite mode even more. Talk about the roguelite mode. I'm going to grab my Switch real quick.
Yeah, and the roguelike mode is called Conquest, and the Conquest mode is it's cool. I really enjoy it. So the first thing you do when you start a Conquest mode is you can decide on the difficulty setting, and then they have them by little chili peppers. I think there's green, orange, and red. So
it's
easy,
a little
medium,
silly.
and hard. Yeah. And just like a lot of games, if you keep it on easy, you get 1 time your crystals at the end, 1.5 or 2 times your crystals. So right up front, if you want to try to get a lot of crystals, you can make the game more difficult for that reason, and you'll get your more rewards. After that, you get to select your commander, and it gives you 3 commanders that you get to choose from. And each one has their buffs and stats and all that stuff. After you select your commander, there's 3 more options, and each option comes with different starting troops. Some of them have like up to 5, and some of them have only 3, but maybe if you only have 3, there's some more powerful ones. Also, depending on which one you decide on, it'll tell you how much extra bonus gold you start with. So I kind of like that every run you can kind of just quickly change up the style based on your commander and the troops that you want. You can go for I just want quantity over quality. So I want to get like 5 soldiers with 200 gold. That's the way I'm going to try to play this run. So right off the bat, I really like that, how you can change that. Once you go through the game, it kind of has, I'm just going to use Slay the Spire because we all love Slay the Spire, approach of this map that has millions of different, well, not millions, a few different branches where you can choose the path you want, right? Some of them are just normal fights. Some of them are elite fights. Some of them you go to the campfire, you can heal. Some of them you go to the shop or the merchant and you can buy things. So you can just, again, plan your strategy on how you want to go through the level and the maps, which I think are really cool. Now, once you go through it and you end up beating, if you die at any point, you lose, game over. And from battle to battle, all of the health of all of your characters stays the same. So it's not like it automatically replenishes your health when you move on to the next level. So there's a lot of strategy in that.
It is exactly what a roguelite is. It doesn't try to do anything crazy. It is exactly what Slay the Spire is, or a lot of them.
Which I like. It's not trying to recreate the wheel, right?
Yeah,
It's going by what it knows, which is perfectly fine with me.
Right.
If you end up beating a run, you get the crystals associated with it. Again, if you chose a harder difficulty, it will be multipliers. So once you get a bucket of crystals, now you can go to essentially the crystal store, let's say, and you can do permanent upgrades. Some of those permanent upgrades are you can unlock additional commanders. So when you go to the commander selection screen, you'll see new commanders in there. Some of them are literally new campaigns for the roguelike mode. You have to unlock those by, buying them. Some of them are like, hey, when you go to the the merchant, you'll have discounts on items sometimes, or you'll have a discount when you try to buy new soldiers, or it's just all those typical upgrades. All of your foot soldiers move one extra space, etc., etc. And that's also like a skill tree. So you have to kind of go down the skill tree to upgrades. A lot of fun. So I've played through and I've beaten the first one twice, one on easy, one on medium, and I've played the other, unlocked another campaign, but I actually died on it, so I did not beat that one.
We've done about the same. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought was weird about it. I have some qualms with the roguelite mode. Overall, it was fun. It's all traditional, like we talked about, and it was a little weird because it's weird. You there's like a difficulty level, and you said they show little peppers, right? But it's basically easy, medium,
Yeah.
hard, whatever. And so they have the difficulty, but then each conquest has a difficulty. So it's like
Correct.
the conquest says difficulty is double pepper, and then you click it, and it goes, "What difficulty do you want? Do you want single pepper?" And it's like, what are we doing here? I don't know why it has
grind
to
the easy one on a harder difficulty.
Yeah, like why? Like, don't even give me the difficulty in the second conquest. Just do it. The skill tree is really bad because it's very limiting. It's not like you can go out into different directions with
really
your skills.
Like 2 paths.
You just unlock everything all the way down. It doesn't really matter. So you just go through, you get crystals, you unlock all the way down. I think our order is the same. I mean, it's probably
similar.
Probably the same order of everybody in that tree. So it could have been a lot more interesting as you went. And the UI for it is terrible. I've noticed the UI in this game, which is overall terrible.
I agree with that.
It's always zooming in on things, and so on the skill tree, it zooms in so far in.
You can't see how many
literally
crystals
the little popover. I had a picture of it. The little pop over here. I'm going to show you my screen.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The little pop over is so big it like overlaps the number of crystals and whatever the thing is, and it's just like, oh my god, it was so unnecessary. Like, and you can't zoom out, and it's like, but if you move the right stick, it'll get rid of the pop over, but it's so unnecessary. There was no reason for it to be so zoomed in, and there's a lot of those little issues in the game too. Not a huge deal, but it's like, oh my god, the map, when they show you on the map, they always try to center you on the screen, so they'll center you, and so you'll actually see off the map. There'll be like brown border off the map, and it's just gross. It's like, just show me at the top corner and put the dialogue in the middle. It's just like,
there's some weird choices.
It feels weird, but
let me ask you. I think there's 2 new things. So items is new, right?
Items is new. Yep, it's very cool.
So characters, any character, actually, well, commanders can pick up an item, and the item could be anything beside up to like 50% more armor, summon an undead, whatever it might be. It's random items, which are pretty cool. The other thing, remind me, am I wrong on this one, is in Wargroove 1, did commanders have 2 levels of their groove?
In Double Trouble, they did.
Oh, yeah,
not the original game, but they did make that in the Double Trouble.
You go to 200%, and then it makes your power, your special, like double, or changes it up a little bit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I think was that Double Trouble?
Oh, you know what? No. Oh, I'm thinking about Advance Wars. They did that in Advance Wars too.
So this might be new.
Yeah, this must be totally new. Yeah, in Advance Wars, the first game, you had the power up, but then in the second game, everyone had a second level one.
If you just let it kept building it up instead of using it.
So basically, they just stole a little more from Advance Wars.
Of course. You know what though? It's fine. Like I said, I enjoy this game. I played a level tonight that had like the dragons, and I forget how fun the dragons were and stuff.
They're a terror. I think I'm enjoying the roguelite mode better. The thing about this game is it's totally fine. There's not much to complain about. It's just more the same with the roguelite mode and a couple of tweaks to the gameplay. I don't love that there's like all these multiple campaigns, because then I feel like I'm not going to get this feeling of beating the game the way I did the first one.
Correct.
But
I do
whatever.
feel that.
But I like the roguelite mode better. But I also like when I finish a run, I'm sort of like, okay, I'm good. Whereas in a really good roguelite, when you die, you just immediately want to do it again.
Yeah,
And
that
I don't know
I
if it's
agree.
just because it's just more mental energy to go through these levels. But I mean, I like it. The weird thing is overall, I'm not grabbing my Switch to play. Like
I
I'm
am.
like
I
like
am though.
when this show is done, I'll go upstairs, I'll bring my Switch up and I might play. But last night I had my Switch with me and I didn't even play it at all. It's
Hmm.
not grabbing me because I think it's just not different enough.
I'm okay with that because, well, you remember, you played through Wargroove twice. You played Advance Wars. You played a lot of these style of games. I have not played Wargroove since it came out.
Mhm.
So I was like craving for this. I've been wanting this. I've been waiting for it.
Yeah. It's also nice because if you did not play Wargroove, honestly, you can pick up this one and be just fine.
Agreed.
They're going to
Yeah.
tutorialize anyway,
Yep.
and
I
it
agreed
doesn't
with
feel
that.
like it's continuing a story at all. I think it's a totally different story now. So,
Yeah. I don't think you need to know anything about the first one.
right. And
Nope.
then even the roguelite mode, which is funny. I'm not sure what the second conquest is, but even the roguelite mode, like when you beat the final boss in the roguelite, which
Yeah.
is usually like an enemy, afterwards you're like, ha ha ha, let's go to the opera together.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's done. Because all these people are actually friends. They were enemies in the first game, but
Correct.
they're all friends now. And it's a little weird because they just didn't want to make a new enemy. So it's almost like you're just play acting. Like they're literally just practicing against each other,
Hmm.
and I feel like the stakes should be a little higher. I'm not sure what they could have done, but like, I feel like I'm not really fighting an
Well,
enemy. I'm fighting a
they
friend.
kind of screwed themselves with that in the first one.
Yeah, they could have. I mean, they could have just had it like maybe you go against the mice.
A
I
couple
don't
new
know.
factions or whatever it would be. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it just feels a little anticlimactic because you're not killing an enemy. You're not beating Bowser at the end. It's like,
Mm, agreed.
but yeah, no, yeah, I'll keep playing it.
Yeah, good.
Um, and then you're always playing Slay the
I
Spire.
am always playing it.
I got into a little groove with Slay the Spire this past couple weeks because I didn't have a game and I was just waiting for potentially Wargroove.
No, you playing on the Switch?
Yeah, I'm still playing on the Switch. I try to get to Ascension level 5 with all the characters. I've done it with the first two, and I've been working on the defect, but I hadn't gotten a win in a while. And I finally got a win, and then I think I got a win on Ascension level 1. So I've made progress now with the defect. He's a
Nice.
weird character, and I'm starting
He
to get
is
a feel
tricky.
for.
He's cool. He's fun.
He's more defensive.
He's defensive. Build up the orbs a little bit. Yeah,
The
it
orbs.
depends. Yeah,
Like if you use a lot of defense, the orbs will do damage. Whereas
correct.
with other characters like the Ironclad, if you just keep defending,
You're
you'll
never
never
gonna
get
win.
attacks in. But with the orbs, you can, but it's smaller. So you really can get a good defensive character and then just up your what do they call it? The focus level and make the orbs more
Yes,
powerful. But he's really fun. I'm really
he is fun.
enjoying the
He's
defect.
different. It's very.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this game is each character makes the game literally so different.
Right. Yep.
So agreed.
Yep. All right. You want me to start? I can start
Sure.
with games I'm playing. Let me
Mine
start
will
with
be
this.
actually really quick.
Okay. I've played Portal 2. Once
Nice.
again,
You loved the first one.
I really didn't have a game. I've hadn't had a game for a while, and I was like, oh, let me play Portal 2 because I don't like first person games. They make me nauseous. But I played through Portal 1, which was only like a couple hours,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, wow, I'm really excited for Portal 2 because I've heard great things about Portal 2. And so I started playing it. And oh yeah, like the game is almost exactly the same. I don't even think there's any new mechanics at all in Portal 2. No, I shouldn't say that. There are some new mechanics that do come around, but you still have the portal weapon, and that's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
really it. So much more characterization. Gladys, who's like the villain from the first game, man, she insults the shit out of you. I have so many 30-second clips from the game, just great dialogue. It's a much longer game. I think it took me about like 6 or 7 or 8 hours, maybe.
Still the perfect length for a video game is like 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, and it was so much fun. And you're playing puzzles, but they're interesting. They just hit the sweet spot of they're interesting, but they're not like taxing. So, for an example, like there are some puzzle games that are like, oh, this is fun, and then as you get into the game, they just get more and more complex and like larger, and you're not having fun anymore. every portal level is fairly small, and it's more about finding like the catch, finding like the trick in the level.
Yeah.
But it's not like here's 40 blocks and like it's just and the whole game they just stay nice and straightforward. So even when you can't figure it out, you're only dealing with a small amount of space in the level, and it really helps you. And I finished it up, and it was like, I mean, by the time I was done, I was like, I want to play through both these games again this year. Like, I'm going to
Wow.
come back. I want to play
Now,
through them again.
did
It's
you
so
find like
good.
Portal 2 significantly better? Like play one over the other, play both?
Portal 2 is a lot better because it introduces new environmental mechanics. You're still using the gun, but there's these like inks that will come out with different colors and they do different things. So there's just these different mechanics that come
It's
around.
first person, right?
It's first person.
You had no problem playing this?
I think it's because it's not like a shooter where you're running
and fast paced, right? It's more slow.
Yeah. And even sometimes when I'm walking around, I'll just walk a little slow and just keep it going. And then it can do a few levels, and then I'll I'll just put it down and go, I'm fine. I don't have a headache or anything. I'm just gonna put it down and I'll play some levels
your
later.
limits.
And I don't feel pressured because the game is fairly short anyway. Fantastic. I mean, at this point I could probably do the first game in like one sitting. But if you haven't played these games, man, they are as good as advertised, and that doesn't usually happen.
I get the concept, but would you say it's almost like a Zelda dungeon where like you're just trying to like, how do I figure out this puzzle type concept using the mechanics of the game? Okay.
Yeah. The first like several levels in 1 and 2 are almost like very easy, but they're teaching you the mechanics slowly, but they're fine. You're just enjoying yourself and having a good time. And then, then they start to introduce new mechanics. It never gets crazy. Portal 2 definitely is definitely a little harder at the end. I'm not going to say I wasn't stuck on something, but there was one I had to look up in between both games. Oh no, there was one I had to look up in the first game too. But overall, no, it's just extremely good. I can't believe I haven't played these games before. Crazy. I recommend that wholeheartily. What do you got? Right. Oh, you want me to keep going, or are you gonna?
You can keep going. I'm gonna be quick at the end. I've been playing mostly Wargroove.
I will talk about Baldur's Gate 3. This game's incredible. It's fantastic. You can't say enough about this game. And I have to say, I'm just proud of myself for sticking through it because I had played both Divinity Original Sin games, and I eventually just stopped playing because of the complexity. And I don't usually love games that have huge inventories, like Minecraft, Terraria, where you have like 1,000 things in your inventory and you got to manage things. I don't like those games. I have stuck with this game because it has an incredible story, which is easy to follow along with. You can choose different characters. I have a custom character for my character, and then you can sort of friend up with these characters in the game. And what's cool is you can meet up with them, and even if you don't put them in your party of 4, they will stay in your camp. So if you ever want to change characters, you go to your camp and you can just say, hey, you leave my party. This guy, you're in my party. So I had a character named Shadowheart who was a cleric. You got to have a cleric in your party.
Of course.
But after a while, I got tired of her because her attacks were just not doing great. And I really wasn't using her as a cleric. And so I switched her out for the rogue, right? It's this vampire guy. Okay. And I've been using him for like the last week and a half. And then today I was like, you know what? Bring the cleric back because she did have some magic attacks and this guy is not doing anything for me. And they just sit in your camp and you just swap them out. I have another character that I can use, but I can't use them yet. But I'm really excited to use them. And you like have conversations with them and there's dialogue trees and the dialogue is so hilarious. Some of the responses you can give are just the best. And then they can lead to romances, or they can lead to, if you say something to one character, another character might be mad at you. And it feels like it has some meaning. And then the other thing is you run into all these situations in the game. There's main quests, side quests, whatever, and then just things that you come across in the game. And there's so many ways to react to them, right? You can basically attack them, you can talk to them, you can stealth away from them. There's so many ways you can attack different players. It's like like I told you, there was one character I wanted to have in my party really badly because I saw her in the trailers, like the devil lady, and I killed her.
The devil.
And now I can't use her because I murdered her. And all I want to do is play a second time and have a different kind of character. My character is a very like persuasive. She's a paladin. She's persuasive. She can like convince you of deception, persuasion, that sort of thing. I just want to have like next character will be like a really strong character, and I want to have the devil lady in my party and this other guy who's not in my party, and just play it a different way. The only times that I have not enjoyed this game are when I'm lost, when I don't know where to go. And it's only happened twice. Yeah. I got to Act 2, and it's supposed to be this like underground where you will be damaged by the environment, right? It's like almost like a poison atmosphere, which I hate. I don't like when games do that. And I get to this part where there's like this light that you're supposed to use to get through, but it's broken. And I'm like, oh, it's broken. I go forward, and then I'm being damaged by the environment. Well, what am I supposed to do? So at that point, I was like, all right, well, I'll just go adventuring around and see if I come across something. And I didn't realize, but for the last week and a half, I've just been exploring the whole world, unlocking everything in my map, finding everything because I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I did that for so long, I can't even remember where to go. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And I was like, oh my God, I've explored this whole map, and I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be doing. And so finally last night we weren't going to do the show, and I said, okay, I'm going to look it up. I need to figure out how I get through this poison area.
Sure.
And I looked it up, and it was like, all you had to do was use a torch. And I was like, wait, what? And I have a torch.
Wait, what does that do to the poison?
So I went to the game, and I didn't know how to use the torch. So then I had to look up, how do you use the torch? And it's like, hold the up button. Okay. And then I did it. And then, yeah, you can walk around. Like, oh. But then they say, like, there's deeper areas that you can't go through. The torch isn't enough. And it's like, all right. But then one of the first areas you come across is this place. And then a bunch of shit happens. And then I stumbled across the second place. I killed a bunch of dudes. And then I got their lantern. And now I can go wherever I want. And it's like, oh, that was it. So I'm like, I love this game whenever I know like where I'm going. And so I just made it to people who've played Moonview Towers. Is that it? Moonview Towers, I think. So I just made it there. I just talked to the guys or whatever. I think there's a lot to do in Moonview Towers. And I have a whole bunch of quests that are going to resolve in Moonview Towers. And so I'm like loving it. But yeah, like I'm playing on easy mode, and it's not easy. But it's like I'm not getting frustrated by the battles. There's been battles I've lost, and then I play again, and then I'm fine. But I would definitely recommend playing this game on the easier mode. I think it's called Explorer mode. And it's just utterly fantastic. And all I want to do when I'm done with the game is like play it again. It'll be a lot easier the second time because there's just so many different outcomes that can happen. I can't recommend this game enough. I feel like if you have a PlayStation, you should be playing it. When it comes out on Xbox, you should play it. If you have PC, you should play it. It's probably better on PC because I think the keyboard and mouse will be easier to navigate. But it's fantastic. And then at some point, like after I finish, at some point, I'm going to go back and play Divinity Original Sin 2 because I stopped playing that game because it was too complicated for me. Now I feel I can go back and totally understand it and have no problems. It's just not played like a traditional RPG. It's just a different kind of game. And that's fine, but you just have to have a little patience with yourself. It's kind of like Monster Hunter. Like I had to play it for 15 hours, 20 hours before I really figured it out.
Yeah.
And then you have a heck of a time. So same thing. It'd be a bit of a learning curve, but you'll love it.
Nice.
That's Baldur's Gate 3. And then the only other game I've been playing is I'm still playing Monster Hunter World. I rolled credits, so I feel really good about that. There is some post-credits story stuff that I haven't really gotten into, but I've been going and just doing every side quest that's not checked off. And I got to a point where all the quests are now checked off, but there's different colors in Monster Hunter, which basically means there's other things that you can do that once you do them, there will be more quests that show up. But at this point, I'm like, okay, they're all completed. I have to go back to Baldur's Gate. So I'll come back to Monster Hunter World. The big question will be if and when I get the Iceborne DLC. and play through that. I'm excited that it's available and it's there, and I have probably another 100 hours of experience in Iceborne, but I'm just a little afraid to do it as well. So that's it. But I'm glad the opportunity's there if I so choose.
Nice.
And then one last thing. I actually have an episode of PlayStation Daily. If you haven't listened to that podcast, I do PlayStation Daily. It's a daily podcast on PlayStation. I started a new feature. You would love this, Drew, called Picks and Skips.
Jeez.
The first episode of it comes out tomorrow morning. So Tuesday, October 10th. And what I did was I downloaded 4 games off of PS Plus Extra for free. And I just played like 20, 30 minutes of each one. And I tell you if I picked it and I kept it on my console to play through, or I skipped it, which means it got the whole whoop, whoop, delete immediately after. So I'll be doing that a few times to really take advantage of kind of the PS Plus service, because I've been so locked into Baldur's Gate, Monster Hunter World. It's like, look, I got all these free games available to me. I should try them.
Free.
And I had a fun time. I had a really fun time with it. So
nice.
Yeah. I'll tell you, one of the picks is a game called Humanity. And I'll leave it at that. That game was way better than I thought it would be. And I hope that game does come to Switch someday.
Nice. I've been playing a few things. I continued Mutant Football League a little bit more in my Dynasty mode. I sucked. I haven't won a game yet. My team just sucks. I said, do I just suck at this game? Or is it this Dynasty mode that they give you this shit team, and the whole point of it is you have 3 years to win a championship. So I think you're not supposed to really win games in the beginning. I think that's the whole point of it. So I said, well, is that the problem? So I just played I just went out of back to the main menu, just played a normal exhibition game where I selected like one of the best teams and I played like an average team. And like, I think the very first play, I ran back the kickoff. So I was like, okay, these guys are like tremendously better than the players on my team. So I now understand that the Dynasty mode means like you're supposed to go manage your team and you're supposed to recruit and manage their salaries and you get experience points. And I'm like, am I in the mood for this? Or am I in the mood to go like dedicate 3 seasons of Mutant Football League to like build up my roster? Or is this just a game that if I'm watching football on Football Sunday and I just want to play handheld on the Switch and just play a random game, is that what I want? And I think that's more the answer. I don't think I can commit to playing like a whole Dynasty mode. There's just too many other games. And to be honest, the game's fun, but at the end of the day, it's like a football game for me. I'm not like a big Madden guy. I'm just not like a big, yeah. That is what it is. The game's fun. It's fine. There's a lot of features. It's way more features than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, Mutant Football League is going to be one of those that I'm just going to jump on every once in a while and play a game. I've been playing tons of Speedstorm still. I've been doing the Aladdin season, unlocking Jafar and getting him leveled up. So that's what I've been doing. I like how the one thing I do like how they do their seasons is within the season, they unlock or release rather a chapter, and the chapter lasts every 5 days. A new chapter is added, so it's not like you can just, when a new season comes out, like complete everything there is to do. Every 5 days they kind of sprinkle out more content, which is kind of nifty. More events, more stuff to do. So I like doing that. I've been doing that in every 5 days. You can beat the entire chapter probably in an hour. So it's nice if I can play like an hour or 2 a week. I can stay up to date with everything. So still doing it. Can't believe I'm still doing it, John. I cannot fucking believe I'm still playing it, but I enjoy it. It's the unlockable. I like the unlockable stuff. To the racing, it's no different than Mario Kart. Eventually, if you just play, it's repeatable. It gets a little bit old. And then I tried to do the right thing and play a Halloween game for the Halloween season. And this one was on my favorite list from last year. It's an older game on the Switch, probably a few years old. It's called Haunted Halloween, like 1986. And they used like the original NES type engine and they built this kind of beat 'em up game about 2 guys. It's just, like you go back and try to play some of those old school NES games, and just certain ones don't hold up. This is one of those that like doesn't hold up in my eyes, and it wasn't that much fun. And the way they did it too was you had to find these unlockable maps or something, and every time you found one, you unlocked a new move. So like your guide's simple. Like you can unlock the map and you have to choose one skill to upgrade. Like the first one I did was let me unlock double jump. Like double jump doesn't come with it; you have to unlock it. The next one I unlocked was like an uppercut, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like you have to slowly unlock more abilities to make your character more powerful, which is kind of cool than just starting off. But I don't know. I kind of fell off this game fairly quick, even though I don't think it's very long. I think I collected like 3 out of the 9 map pieces, and I just said, it's not really that entertaining.
Hmm.
But it was like $10 too. It wasn't like it was like super cheap. But
it's expensive and drew money.
I know. Haunted Halloween 86. It's called like 1986. Haunted Halloween 86.
You had mentioned that Speedstorm when the official launch date happened that you're having trouble getting online.
Yes.
Was there like a lot of people that were
Yes. It was a shit show.
Just buying it for the first, or they were just downloading it because it was free.
So right when this season kicked off about 2 weeks ago is when it became free to play.
Right.
And before they had a shop, but the shop was just like in-game currency that you got and that you could buy things and do mystery boxes and stuff like that. But now, since it came free to play, now they have like sections in the shop that you can buy coins with real money. So that kind of defeats a lot of it because now you're on different playing fields. But yeah, the first 2 days was very hard to get online. They kept getting user errors. It wouldn't log in. It was just kind of a shit show. So I don't know if they weren't expecting it or just a ton of people downloaded this. John, you know better than anyone, Disney fans are crazy, and there's a lot of people that have the Nintendo Switches. And I joined a random Facebook Speedstorm group just to see what people were saying and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, there's some diehard, people out there already, probably spending a lot of money just to level up Jafar to Matt's level and stuff like that. But I will say when you play online,
wait, it's just funny, like hardcore unlocking Jafar.
Well, like level, probably spending $200 to make a Matt's level. Like, what's the point?
Right.
When you play online, I do like how their online is. It's based on your online rank per character. So, for example, if I'm going to keep using Jafar because he's the person I've been using the most since I just got him in this season. If I want to play with Jafar online, I go into the online mode as Jafar, and you go to there's ranked and unranked, right? But I say that you laugh because every character I play with has its own online campaign, even though I'm playing with other people. So I level up Jafar to online rank. I think it's called MPR, multiplayer rank. MPR rank 10. If I stopped playing with Jafar and I got Mike Wazowski, I'm going to start at level 1 for my MPR. Even though Mike Wazowski's level is 50 or 30. It's irrelevant. So when I started MPR and Mike Wazowski is one of my highest levels, I'm going to be dominating these people in the beginning. But you're going to eventually get to a threshold where you're playing other people of your level. So it's kind of cool. It's interesting that every character starts fresh, though.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still playing it. I can't believe it myself. But they did announce, if you don't want spoilers, I don't think people are playing it, so I don't care. But they announced the next few seasons. Each season is 2 months long. They announced next season is going to be Frozen. And the following season is going to be Little Mermaid, I think.
Oh my God.
I don't know how excited I am, but I probably will still play it. We'll see.
It's interesting because you're like the thing that you had with Mutant League Football is the same thing I have with, because I have like Super Mega Baseball and I haven't played it, whatever. Because in order to properly play the game as an adult, you want to do career mode, right? You're building towards something. Like exhibition modes are like, okay, that was fun, but it doesn't drag you in every day. No. A career mode gets you in and gets that addiction factor.
1 game a day, even in career mode, or like you try to just, I agreed.
But you kind of don't want to do that for Mutant League Football, but that's exactly what you're doing with Speedstorm. So it's kind of like, it's not so much the mode, it's just the game. Like Disney's grabbing you and the football is not.
Sure. I think it's the managing of the team. If I play Mutant Football League and 50% of my time if I play that game for an hour,
Mm.
The actual game might be 30 minutes. The other 30 is going through my trade roster. Who's my free agents? Who am I giving my experience points to? Setting my roster. You have to resurrect your players when they die. Like I don't want to spend 30 minutes managing the team.
And they just
I'd
got
rather
random
play
names, and like it's like you don't get attached to them very much.
I'd rather play 30 minutes and play 2 games, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. All the names, by the way, are pretty funny. I should take a picture of some of them. They're all based off of NFL players, but they change it to some type of nonsense. I don't have any good examples, but I'll have to go pull it up.
Tom Braze,
Braze
balls. I don't know.
Mutant Football League player names. Let me see if I did any right quick. Let's see. Wham Neutron, Throb Bombowski, Patrick Myomes, Cooper Pup.
I like that at least you know who it is, because
you do. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Did you play that hockey game, Super Blood Hockey?
I did not. There used to be a Mutant League Hockey, by the way, which I loved. But
there was a game called, I think, Super Blood Hockey, and I played it. It's just like ice hockey, but it's a bit deeper. That ball's gone. Oh my god. It was like deeper, and you actually had to manage your roster.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the worst part of the game because these people were just random dudes. I didn't really care all that much. And the fact that like Mutant League Football has like player names that are similar, like even if the names aren't the best names, but it's like at least I know who my Rob Gronkowski is. I know who my Patrick Mahomes is.
Yeah.
Like that. I like that because in Super Blood Hockey, it was just random names of
these are cool.
Yeah.
Oh hell, Reckham Jr. T.Y. Hellbent.
I don't know. Odell's in the league.
It's
all right.
It's fun.
Cool. Sounds excellent. Well, we'll both work on Wargroove this week and see where we get. I'm going to be playing Baldur's Gate forever. All right. Let's get to things. We had a September review contest.
Ooh.
By leaving a review in the month of September, or very late August or very early October, you were entered in for two chances to win $20 eShop. And if you left the term Bob Barkley in your review, we're upgrading your prize to $35.
Ooh.
Drew, we have 20 reviews. Not all of them are eligible for a prize because you and I can't give ourselves a prize.
Correct.
20 new reviews. Why don't you talk about some of these reviews?
20, yeah. So I pulled out a couple. Thank you, everyone. This was fantastic. 20 reviews is huge. We had 1 or 2 from Canada. We had a couple not so 5-star reviews, which we'll talk about. But thank you. Some new names, a lot of longtime fans, a lot of new reviews, a lot of repeat reviews. It was awesome. So I picked out 2 good ones and 1 negative one I want to read through. So this person said, great podcast. My daily commute is about 2.5 hours round trip. God bless you. Listening to these guys chat about what's new in the world of Nintendo has been awesome. I'm a bit out of the loop, so I get my news fill from them. I love when they chat about regular life stuff. Well, let me tell you, we spent about 30 minutes today, so you're going to be happy. What they've been doing since the last episode, what's new with them, etc. It made it so much easier as the listener to know the host personality. That's kind of cool, right? We talked about this, John. Like sometimes they know more about us than we remember, so they can kind of put themselves in our shoes for certain things, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
They say the jokes and funny banter are top tier. Consistently great audio.
Oh, yeah.
Well done, John. Great audio. No funny business there. Definitely my daily driving pod to listen to until I'm all caught up and need to wait for the next one. I'm so glad that Bob Barkley recommended this podcast to me. Thanks again, guys. Another person wrote, Dads After Dark is the podcast I look forward to the most on my feed. Game discussions, contests, parenting, and more. Drew and John are funny in the same way that Charles Bob Barkley is on NBA on TNT. And like Sir Charles, these guys are not role models. Keep your kids away from this one. Adults only.
I object to that. We are role models.
Just depends.
I mean, Drew's drinking at the Cub Scouts meetups, but I save children at a pumpkin patch.
So, John, this next one hurt me, right? They attacked me. Whether it was you or not, we'll never know. But
It's not me.
they also gave us 2 stars. So as much as it hurts me, let me read it first, then we'll talk about it. 2-star review. It says, "I like the concept. It's a Nintendo podcast made for adults. Great. Drew, however, is so negative that it's a buzzkill to listen to. John provides enthusiasm and excitement.
Hell
while
yeah.
Drew is just a downer. If you don't like most Nintendo games, then don't host a podcast." So
that is fire.
I want to talk about this. First of all, 2 stars. Listen, that's your opinion. I'm not going to make you do a 5-star review. However, you're not eligible to win. Sorry. That's the rules.
Drew, don't be so negative.
I will also say, as much as it hurts to admit, 2-star review, at least you had the balls to write why, right? I get it. We're not going to be for everyone. I'm not for everyone. That's fine. But I do respect that he at least told us why he gave us 2 stars, right? It's better than someone just giving us a 1 or 2-star rating with no explanation, because then you don't know. You can't get better.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, buddy, I disagree in some things that I do believe I give most Nintendo games a try. If you look back at this year alone, I played Pikmin, never played it before. I attempted Metroid Prime. I said Metroid Prime was not for me. Wasn't a bad game, just not for me. I tried Fire Emblem, whatever the hell the new one is. Again, it wasn't a bad game. It was not. Again, not for me. Is that negative though? It said.
I thought we were trying to convince people otherwise. You're like, look, I tried Fire Emblem. I hated it. Look,
he's saying if you don't like most Nintendo games, don't host a podcast. I'm just naming a few.
Is that true? Maybe you don't like most Nintendo games.
I loved Pikmin. Never played it before, and I loved it.
I got to look up a list now. I got to see.
What?
I would say overall of Nintendo games that came out this year, I would say overall, I don't think you are negative about Nintendo games or whatever.
I only play Nintendo.
Yeah. It's hard to remember all the Nintendo games that came out this year, but I don't recall you being.
I don't think so either.
Negative about.
I can't remember which game I was negative about. But you know what? Listen,
you just said Fire Emblem. You played, and then you didn't like it. I don't know if not liking a game is negative though.
I play a lot of games.
It's just being honest, right?
Games.
You didn't like Sports Story. Very negative.
Did anybody like negative? Did anybody like Sports Story? You were just as negative as I was.
I know, but I cashed that in with views on my YouTube review. You didn't like Fire Emblem Engage. What other Nintendo games came out?
I've played Pokemon. I've given a lot of games a fucking chance. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You talked to me 5 years ago. I was a different. I've played so many new franchises.
Oh, you quit on Advance Wars?
I didn't quit. I beat the first game. I took a break, but didn't want to start the second one yet.
Yeah, but you didn't play that second one, and you think Wargroove's better than Advance Wars? I don't
think Advance Wars is bad. I just loved I love Wargroove.
You don't think Tears of the Kingdom is the greatest game ever made? That's fairly negative, honestly.
I don't. That's a fact. I thought Breath of the Wild may have been one of the best games ever made.
You stopped playing Sea of Stars?
No. You know what? I will say I've quit more than I used to. I used to finish more.
You're getting older now. It's hard to really last.
It's too many games. You know what? I respect his opinion, I guess. Yeah, but I don't have to agree with it.
Yeah, hopefully it's not just, I'm sorry, I swapped you guys. I don't think, though, I think it's a good question. I don't think it's negative to say you didn't like a game. I think it's very easy to be negative about games. And I try to avoid being negative because I like when I play a game and I'm going to tell you about it, I want to be honest about how I feel. So I'm never making things up. I'm not going to tell you I like a game I don't, or I'm not going to ignore a problem with the game because I don't want to be negative about it. I want you to know what I like and what I don't like about a game. And I will always try to find something negative and something positive in a game, unless it's Sports Story. But the negativity it's like, as long as it's honest, then it's fine. But if you are being negative about a game because of a console war or something like that, then no, you can't do any of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen,
well, let's
my
do a
feelings hurt,
contest.
they were hurt, right? But at the end of the day, I respect it. It's your opinion. It is what it is. I double test the truth in it sometimes. And it seems like this person was very positive about John and very negative about Drew. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What's next, John?
I'm very negative about
we did a winner.
That's right. So I have the random number generator up. It's
Okay.
1 to 20. Drew and I are not eligible, but just curious to see if we win.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
And I've hit the random number generator. If you win, then you're not eligible to win a second time. So you have 2 chances, but you can't win both. And if your review has Barb Barkley in it, you'll get the $35 prize. And 18 of the reviews do. So good chance. And the first winner is number 3.
Oh, a new name.
Better Days 99. So if I don't know who Better Days 99 is.
Me either.
Contact us. How can they contact us? You can contact us on Threads, or we have an
Discord.
email.
Email is, if you're not on Discord, I'd say email is probably the easiest one. Dad's After Dark Show at gmail.com.
Yep. So let us know that's you. If you can prove it, then great. But I don't know if you can prove it or not, but let us know. And the next number is 11. Pitamizer.
Is that another new name?
Another new name.
Wow.
So Pitamizer, same deal. Send us an email. Write us on Threads. We're what are we on Threads? We're NDads After Dark, I believe. NDads After Dark on Threads or Instagram. I think you can message us on Instagram and or email us. Everybody's got email, so let us know. We will hold your prizes. Both those prizes will be upgraded to $35 of eShop cash. Congratulations.
Congrats, indeed.
And thank you, everybody, for leaving reviews. It really helps us a whole bunch. If you didn't do it in September, go ahead, please. Don't wait for next time. We give prizes out for updates anyway. Please review us now. It really helps us out a ton. It helps us with our search. And we'd like to see them. It makes us feel good inside.
Well, some of them do.
And some of them are, just don't be negative about it, Drew, and you'll recover from this. Maybe next time that person will update it and say Drew has become very positive. But this will be like after 9 more Patriots losses, so we'll see.
Yes, indeed.
We also have monthly mayhem going on. That is our Halloween mayhem.
Yes.
Come to the Discord. The channel is called Halloween Mayhem 2023. Leave some pictures, leave some videos. You can find all the rules there about the kind of things that you can submit. We've got some good stuff already.
If you like Halloween and you have any sense of kids, I don't care if you drive by somebody's house and stop and take a picture of it. This is just such an easy opportunity to submit a picture because not only do we choose a winner, I think we also do a random one, right? So this is easy to just, even if you don't win and you make it a sloppy, easy submission. Just do it. Just make the submission.
All right. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. We've got a picture of Eston with his kids making cookies. I posted some pictures of the pumpkin patch this last weekend. Rizzle posted a sex scream shot, which I'm not sure if is actually from a movie or not because I haven't seen any. You've got a pumpkin with a seatbelt on. Darth Platypus posted a picture of himself with a Luigi hat holding Luigi's Mansion 3. But yeah, it's still early in the month. It's still October 9th. I expect we're going to see a lot more. I've been debating taking my kids to like an authentic haunted house this year, finally. And,
mine aren't old enough yet.
I know. And like sometimes you go there and the lines are really long. They try to sell you on fast passes and it's really expensive, but I'm debating it. I might go. All right. What do we got? We got news about. Tell me this news about Lego Animal Crossing stuff.
Lego Animal Crossing did a little tease. Actually, Lego, I believe, I could be wrong. That's where the first I saw it was the first one to announce it, and they had this little mini video. I mean, it might have been more than 15 seconds, and it just kind of showed all the little Animal Crossing characters. And it was a video kind of like they do like those animated type, really solid Lego videos, which at very first, it led me to believe, is this actually like a Lego toy, or is this a new Animal Crossing Lego video game coming out? Uh, at that time, there was no way of really knowing. I would assume it was going to be an actual Lego toy. But then there was some leakers, John, that came out, right? And they said, well, here's the price count and the number of pieces. And I'll be honest, I tried to stay away from it for a little bit, but I ended up looking. Now, I didn't see if there's any pictures associated with this, right?
No, I don't think we've seen any pictures of anything. If there is, then I missed it.
I missed it too. And they say this is coming out March 1st of 2024, so a little bit of time. This would have been a great thing to come out prior to Christmas, to be honest. But ranging from $15 to $75. There's supposed to be different Animal Crossing Lego sets. What's your thought on this? I don't know if I'll buy, to be honest, Lego Animal Crossing sets. I just don't really have a big need or place for them. If it was a game now, I would probably buy the game.
Yeah, well, sure, yeah.
But how could you make a Lego Animal Crossing game any different than just a normal Animal Crossing game, I guess is the question.
I don't know, but in terms of Legos, I'm not super interested in it. I think the minifigures are cool.
Agreed.
I'd love to get the minifigures. I'm wondering if the minifigures will just be part of the individual sets and, not sold separately. But I can see buying these sets for Michelle for various things like, birthdays and Mother's Days and things like that. So she likes Animal Crossing and I want to see what the sets are. I'm just not really into Lego. I haven't bought any of the Nintendo stuff except for, I thought there was one thing. Oh, I have the Lego, the little light up Bluetooth characters.
Okay.
But I haven't bought any of those NES sets or anything like that. So, but I know a lot of people are excited for this. So, woo woo. Woo, 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 woo. I think you'll end up buying them.
I won't buy these. I mean, they're gonna be super unless they're super
cool.
I actually, again, another thing I tried with the Nintendo Switch, Animal Crossing, never put a game in my life. And I loved it, put the shit out of it. But I'm not obsessed that I need an Animal Crossing Lego. I don't think I love it that much.
Right.
So we'll see.
All right. Next bit of news we got. Let's see here. Oh, get out of here. Go. Oh, what a catch. Early April 2024 is the death of online Wii U and 3DS. They are closing down the online stuff. Honestly, I thought they had done that already.
I thought so too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's a toughie. But yeah. Does this affect you? I understand. I mean, there's people out there that still just have a Wii U or, still just, play 3DS, I'm sure. But I don't really care. They already closed the eShop down. So I don't really care much about that. I wrote down a list of games that I think would be affected by the online, like for me. And it was Triforce Heroes, Splatoon, Mario Kart 8, Super Mario Maker. I mean, I think Mario Maker is the biggest impact if you're not able to play other people's levels in the original Mario Maker, which is still the superior one. I know there's a lot of people that still play that one on the Wii U. Outside of that, I don't really care. I don't care much. I honestly don't care much about this one, but
yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there will be people that are affected, but trust me, if this was being used overwhelmingly and bringing in revenue for Nintendo, they wouldn't be doing this either. So, yeah, that's it. The Braves won. Kind of an exciting little ending to that game. Great catch. Oh well. Oh gosh, yeah, that's right. So on Friday, October 6th, we got 4 new Switch SKUs. That's right. I'm calling it the Switch OLED, which I think is a fantastic name. That is the red Switch OLED. We got the teal Animal Crossing Switch Lite. That's a Walmart exclusive. The Coral Animal Crossing, that was a Target exclusive. I saw that today when I went to Target. And then the Mario Kart bundle that comes with the game, and then I think 3 months of NSO subscription. I assume you're not getting any of these, but any interest in any of them, or maybe as a gift or a holiday or something?
I want my daughter to like one of these. I just don't think Animal Crossing is her jam.
Right.
He liked watching me play when it was out and it was COVID and she was into it just like I was and stuff. But I would love for her to just play this and enjoy, and I'd buy her it for Christmas or something. But I just don't think it's her jam. So I don't think so. I mean, you.
I'm still a little tempted to get that Coral Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I do like the Coral one.
It's cute, and I'll be honest. Sometimes I get tempted to play Animal Crossing.
This would be a perfect thing to just have just for Animal Crossing.
Yeah, because remember, like you can only have one island per device.
Yeah.
So people like when I got my Switch Lite, like when Animal Crossing came out, I was like, "Ooh, I could have a separate island." I had like a second island, and every so often I think I want to start Animal Crossing from scratch, get some new visitors, start with a tent, and just enjoy the early game. And I've done it twice. I've done it a second time. This would be a third time. But I mean, I'm also like, yeah, there's a lot of other stuff I'd rather play. Yeah, but getting that little Coral Animal Crossing and saying, this is my island right here, and I can't play anything else on it. This is an Animal Crossing machine would be kind of fun. The Mario Wonder demo has come to Target, and we both played it today.
We did.
What did you think about it?
Honest opinion? So, I mean,
why would I want to lie? Like, are you going to lie to me?
I don't know. Apparently, I'm a negative person. So, I mean...
there's no way you could shit on Mario Wonder right now. No. I love this. There's no way you can say a bad thing.
I played one level. Let's be clear.
I did the same.
Yep. And I watched Evan play one level.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I mean, it's very smooth. It's colorful. It's vibrant. It looks great. I mean, I played a level. I hate to say it's exactly what I thought it would be, but it is. I mean, it's a
little negative.
It's sure. Call me. You know what? Fuck it. Call me negative because it felt kind of like I thought it would. I mean, it's hard to say. I literally stood up and played the game for 3 minutes. So I don't really know. I feel like I don't really have a valid opinion, but it was. I will say they did not advertise this very well. Right. This is like when I walked over there, like, oh, they don't have it at my Target. But like you have to just hit the normal, like when the screen's just playing trailers of whatever games. So some random game is on, you go over the controller, you hit A button, and then it opens up the weird Target demo reel. Which again, I don't typically go to Target and play Nintendo Switch. I mean, I play it every day of my life. I don't need to play it at Target. And it was in the games, right? But it wasn't like it was advertised like a little even cardboard banner that says play Mario Wonder demo here today. I feel like they should have did something to advertise. It was your Target any different?
No, it was just there on the demo machine.
But if you didn't know, you would not have stopped and even looked, right? I'm assuming if we didn't know about this as being podcasters.
Sure, but I mean, like, I think people do like play on the demo machine, and you want to keep it updated with the new games or so. Maybe they didn't want to like, I don't know. I mean, they could have told people, and maybe there'd be a rush over there, but maybe that's a good thing for them, right? So I don't know. But I mean, about the game, like the demo kind of starts you right at the beginning of the first level. So there's obviously some story and stuff going on before it that we don't see. And there's no tutorialization in there, but I'm imagining that there is tutorialization in when you play the game. I think there was a little thing that just showed you the controls and that's it. But you hold down Y to speed up, you use B to jump, and there was I did the Wonder Seed thing. So I found the Wonder Flower. I mean, you don't really find it. It's right in front of you. The cool thing is, and I didn't figure this out from watching the previous stuff, is it does have the 3 coin thing that you have to find in every level. In this case, it was like a purple coin with the number 10 on it. Unless I'm misinterpreting it. I'm not sure what the 10 means.
I thought that just been counted as 10 smaller ones.
That's what I thought. But if you look at the top right of the screen, you have to collect 3 of them. And so I love that. I always love that thing. And when the game is done, I think when you're on the map screen, you press X or something, and it will, or L, and it will show you all of the levels, and you can see which ones you haven't gotten the 3 coins for, which ones you haven't got all the Wonder Seeds for.
You did way more than I did. So I don't want to sound negative. I didn't. It's almost like I didn't play it because the only part I played was something I already seen in the trailer.
I just was interested in when I play a Mario game, I'm really into completion stuff because I want to play levels multiple times and really do it. And I was just curious, some games don't handle that well. and it doesn't make you inspired to do it. But this game does. You can see very clearly what you got in the level. You have to get all the wonder seeds.
Yep.
So you get one wonder seed by finding the wonder flower and then getting the wonder seed at the end of that sequence that finishes that sequence. I think it might be timed, but I'm not sure. And then you get a wonder seed whenever you finish any level. So there was 2 wonder seeds in that first level. Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm looking for when I play a Mario game.
Me too. I mean, I am super
easy.
excited for that.
Yeah, and it played so smoothly, and the animation is so fluid and nice. It is a beautiful game, and it just feels so good. They're so good at making platforms.
I will say I was also rushing because we ordered food to get on the way home. My wife was yelling, "We gotta go! The food's ready!" And I'm just, so
yeah, that'd be good.
I'm
more excited if it's possible for Mario Wonder now. Oh, and then if you could look at the badges too. I forgot where I looked at it.
I think it asked you at the start of the level. If you hit L, it opened it up.
Yeah, I think it was one of the L or R buttons, and you can see the badges and you can switch between them. And so one had you jump higher, almost felt like a Luigi power. And I forget what the other ones are, honestly, but yeah, like I can't wait to find all the badges and try things. So, very cool. And then our last topic before we get to questions is Halloween movies. It's that time of year.
Yes, it is.
And you and I are both watching a series.
We are.
I have been watching. Well, first of all, the family and we've been trying to watch a scary movie every so often. And the kids watch the scariest movie they've ever seen in their lives that I know of anyway. Who knows what they watch on YouTube? We watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I talked about this movie last year on the show.
Yes.
I think I saw it on Netflix. It is currently on Hulu. I will recommend this movie. It's definitely scary. So if you have younger kids, then no. But it's not super scary. I absolutely love it. It's based on the book. The book doesn't have a main storyline. The Scary Stories book, which a lot of us Gen Xers grew up with. I don't know about younger generations, but it has a bunch of short stories and they're fantastic. This book is sort of like a meta. It's an overarching story that includes various stories that are being written in a book. But it is really good and I love it. And so I watched it the second time. I was totally gripped again. Love it. And then a couple nights ago, we saw Beetlejuice. Kids got to see that for the first time.
What'd they think?
I asked them after. I said, "What did you think?" And they were like, "It's okay." They were really harping on the special effects, the green screens, and whatever that weren't up to snuff.
And they're making the second one right now.
They are. Yeah, they're making a second one with Jenny Ortega.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for it. It's so funny because Alec Baldwin is so young in this movie. He looks so different.
Now Michael Keaton's in the second one, right?
Michael Keaton is coming back for the second one.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain to the kids how big of a star Michael Keaton was when this movie was made, and that he was Batman, and they didn't care. So I don't know. This one might be lost. This is a 1988 movie. That's just amazing how old this movie is, but it still holds up. Still holds up for me. I still enjoyed it a lot. And then I've been watching all the Friday the 13th.
Nice.
The Friday the 13th, where it was a series that started in the 80s. I was too young to watch it. I probably have seen maybe one and just bits of other ones over the years. So I'm watching them all and trying to follow the storyline. I've gone through the first 6. Wow. And they basically come out once per year.
Yep.
Started in 1980, and the 6th movie is 1986. And I took a little ranking of them. And so through 6 movies, and I'm not sure what the internet consensus is on these.
Okay.
But my ranking is part 6 is the best one, part 4, part 2, part 1, part 5, and part 3.
Okay.
Maybe I feel like the first movie really tells the story of Jason.
That's the story.
I'm not spoiling it, but basically it's about Jason Voorhees died in a lake. He drowned in a lake at Camp Crystal Lake.
Yep.
And he died because what his mom said was the counselors weren't paying attention. So that's why he kills camp counselors.
Yep.
And presumably we're guessing that they weren't paying attention because the camp counselors are having sex, because it's all these camp counselors do in the first 4 movies.
Of course.
So basically that's why. But in the first movie, his mother is doing all the killing. So it's almost like Jason is sort of possessing his mother.
Yeah, it's kind of a supernatural, which people don't realize, right? There's a little bit of
Yeah,
supernatural, if I remember correctly, in Friday the
exactly.
13th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's possessed. But then in the second and third and fourth movies, it is actually Jason.
Yep.
Like he's grown up from the water. So it gets, of course it's like, all right, well, whatever, but that is actually Jason. And then some of the other
Correct.
movies, it comes up a little bit. Sometimes it's not Jason or whatever. The
Are you
movies are
gonna
all pretty dumb.
Yeah, they are.
And they really don't get much into any lore outside of the first movie. There's
There's
bits of
not a
it in the
lot.
fourth, but yeah, it's mostly just, all right, who's he going to kill this time? And I don't know, maybe it's my age or whatever, but I find it a little boring. It's like, all right, he's going to kill some
I think
people.
they've always been a little boring, to be honest. Are you gonna get into any of the Freddy versus Jason?
When I did the Nightmare on Elm Street marathon last year, I did see
Yeah.
that one, but I'm going to watch it again.
Okay. Now that you know a little bit
Now
more,
that I
yeah.
know Jason more. And plus I want my wife to watch it because I think that movie is hysterical.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's kind of boring. The thing about it too is in the mid early 80s, none of the kills are very clever. Like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, he kills people in some crazy ways. And
Oh,
in Friday
yeah.
the 13th, I'm up to movie number 6. And really there haven't been a lot
Yeah.
of really crazy kills. It's usually
No.
like how naked the girls are when they get killed.
Yep.
There's a lot of nudity, and it feels a little weird because they're supposed to be teenagers, and I feel a little gross watching it. All the actors, I'm sure, overage. They kill a fucking
Sure.
actual snake in the first movie. They killed a real
Listen, it was the
snake.
80s.
I know. I was like, I went, wow, that was a really good effect. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if that was an effect, and looked it up. They killed a real snake in the first movie. And the first several movies, there's just tons of boobage, like just tons of it. There's full nudity, I think, in
Gotta
the
love
third one.
boobage.
The sixth one had no nudity.
It hurts.
And there was one sex scene, but they were like clothed at the time. So very interesting why the sixth movie they decided like to be a little less smutty. I don't know why, but it was the best one. Go figure, right? Had just had more story and whatever. So I'm going to continue that and finish that out over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, nice. I love scary movies. So, I've watched a few. A while back we watched Renfield, which if you don't know what that is, that's the Nicolas Cage movie when he's Dracula. It's kind of newer. Went in with pretty low expectations on that of expecting it to be not great. It was fine. It's not really a horror movie, but it was cool. It was different. It was fun. It was fine. This weekend, my daughter and I, she was really excited. We watched The Haunted Mansion, the new one on Disney Plus, and it was cool. My son didn't want to watch it. He was a little spooked out by it. So we went upstairs, we turned all the lights off, we got some popcorn. I set up all these blankets. She got like her big squishmallows, and we kind of just like snuggled on the floor and watched it. It was actually a really cool experience. And sometimes when you watch kids movies with your kids, it kind of makes like certain humor parts like funnier because like they're laughing and you're laughing with them. And we had a blast. It was I think that's what made the movie so special for me. It was kind of like one of those daughter or dad moments, and we had fun. It was funny. Owen Wilson's in it, and God, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Ben Stiller.
No, Ben Stiller's not in it.
Okay.
The short guy.
Martin Short.
No, the
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. God, I don't know why I turned to think of it. Danny DeVito, Owen Wilson is in it, and some of the other actors were great too. It was fun. It goes into the very like a lot of the lore of the Haunted Mansion, like William Gracie, who kind of owned the mansion, the Hatbox Ghost, which some of you may have heard of, and the whole lore and history of him, and he's the main villain of it, and the whole concept of the 999 ghosts and the mansion itself. It's clever. There's a lot of nostalgia and little Easter eggs if you're fans of Disney and the ride. Super cool.
I love that. I love that ride, by the way.
You should watch it. I think you should watch it with a family. I think it's a cool one to watch. I think you guys would like it. As I said, Owen Wilson, I won't spoil it. All I'll say is he comes into it early. He's a priest, and it's just I'm gonna leave it at that. It's funny. The wife and I, just like you've been watching Friday the 13th, we decided actually this was her idea, which I was kind of cool about. We wanted to watch all the Scream movies, which I don't know if I saw all of them. There's 6 of them. I think the 6th one is the newest one that just came out either this year or last year.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we've watched the first 4 so far. The first one is by far the best. I think it's just the first one, you don't really know what to expect, and it has the twist at the end. I mean, they all kind of, the whole point of streams in my eyes is who's Ghostface in this movie, right? Because it changes every movie. But there's some type of reason and why they are and why they're doing the things they're doing. So super cool to kind of see that and the development of it. If you remember, which I didn't always fully remember, it's funny because at the same time, in the movies, there's a movie called Stab. So like there's this production company who's making movies about the Ghostface murders inside the movie, and they're called Stab. And like in the last movie we watched, Stream 4, they were like watching Stab 7. So like every movie they're still producing the same types of movies. It's kind of cool to see. So we have 2 left of those. We watching those. These are the types of movies too. I don't know if you remember, where it's just they're old school thrasher, slasher type films in a way, which is kind of fun. I don't know. They're kind of unique and cool. Not super scary, really.
They kind of make fun of them a little bit, a little more meta. I haven't seen any of them though.
You should watch them. I think they're not bad. Then I bet you they're better than Friday the 13th. I mean,
I guarantee you they're better than Friday the 13th.
No nudity though. 0.
I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay with that because when you come to a movie, you want to be scared. And then you're in a room and then you're like, oh, this is okay. This is going this way or whatever. You definitely felt like a freaking pervert watching Friday the 13th movies.
Sometimes. Emma Roberts was in the last one, Scream 4.
Emma Roberts?
Yes.
Emma
Roberts.
Who's Emma Roberts?
You know her if you've seen her. Look her up.
Hermione?
She's cute.
Emma
Roberts. Look her up. She's in a lot of stuff. She's in the newest episode. She's in the newest season of Horror Story, which I have been watching.
Oh, okay, I've just never heard of her. All right.
You even know her.
I don't.
And lastly, what everybody came to the podcast to hear, John, I watched Terrifier 2. If you remember this time last year, you should go back and find the episode, because Terrifier 1 was the sleeper of horror movies of all time. This is like it became a cult classic. It's just intense. I think in Terrifier 1 we talked about the guy who kind of like cut like the girl's skins off from like her boobs up and then wore it as a mask with her boobs. It was incredible. Another shocker, Terrifier 2, John, no nudity, which I again shocked. So this movie is as gross as they come. It's Art the Clown, which I have come to respect the hell out of. Art the Clown as one of the most coolest horror characters. Like he has character, which I respect. Like sure, Jason Voorhees is like a villain character, but doesn't have any emotions. The actor that plays this guy, so Art the Clown, does not have a voice. He doesn't talk in any of the movies, but he just is this like sinister, fucked up, scary, evil cry and laugh and gestures. So what I love about him, I'm going to talk about a couple scenes. It might be a spoilers, but I'm not going to give away the endings or anything like that. The opening scene is fantastic. It takes off exactly where Terrifier 1 ends, and he walks out of the alley with a garbage bag just like it ends. And he's covered in blood just like the first movie. He goes to a laundromat in the middle of the night. He takes off all of his clothes and puts it into the washing machine to wash it, which is kind of cool, right? Because you see all these movies that like to be continued, like, oh, they all have fresh clothes. So they kind of put a little fun spin on it, like, let me go wash all the blood off of my clothes and bleach it and stuff. And he's just sitting there, like, pretty much, I think he has like whitey tighties on, just sitting there, creepy face with the mask and the mouth. And it's just, and obviously there's another guy waiting in the laundromat, which doesn't end well for him. It's just a cool little opening scene, just like these horror movies do, and then he leaves. But the premise of this movie is there's this kind of brother and sister. The brother is this younger kid it's Halloween night. It takes place now 1 year later, and he wants to, for Halloween, dress up as Art the Clown, and like that's kind of fucked up. With like, you're living in the town where this guy was a serial killer, now you want to dress up as him for Halloween 1 year later.
Always somebody.
There's always that person. It's like Ghostface in Scream. Everybody does it. Uh, and the girl's kind of hot, but I felt weird. I told you, I texted you this. I was like, she's super hot, but like, how old? She plays like she's in high school. But then you look her up and she's like almost 30 and you feel a little bit better about yourself. But yeah, so there's it's just a fun movie. It's the deaths in this movie are like the grossest deaths, like just creepy. So there's this scene where this kid, again, slightly spoiler. So this kid, he's probably in middle school or even like a freshman in high school, so kind of younger side, like to the age where you feel uncomfortable in a horror movie with like him being chased by a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like borderline, like imagine having a young kid being killed. Like that's just borderline.
Right, yeah.
He's
not really borderline, right?
Well, it's below the border, in my opinion. Yeah. He's not being killed, but he's at that age, like, I hope like he's not really involved in it. The older sister was more involved. But there's this scene, he comes home, and meanwhile, while he's gone, there was this other huge scene about Arthur Clown was in his house, and he's chasing his mom, and he murders his mom. Like, bashes her face in, that, like, there's just a giant hole in her face, and it's just grossness, like brains coming out of her face. So he comes home, and he walks into the dining room, and he sees his mother, face bashed in, sitting at the dining room table. The dining room table is like fully, you know, what's the word? Like, has all its plates set out. It has like food on the table. Mm-hmm. And Art the Clown walks around the corner holding like a dish with an apron. And he like does this creepy smile at the kid and like, and he puts the plate down. He takes the little Tupperware thing off, and it's like mashed potatoes. He grabs the mashed potatoes while looking at the kid. Again, this is like just a 13-year-old kid looking at his dead mother, and he gets the mashed potatoes and he just shoves them in the mother's like open face. He's like, eat them. It's just like the stupidest thing. But meanwhile, as the movie goes on, like, Art the Clown is chasing this 13-year-old kid, and he ends up like stabbing him, and it's like it felt uncomfortable with the kid being so young. Like there's no holding back in this movie. It is fucked up in the most ways you can think of. The deaths are so over the top with just blood and gore, and like he'll stab the person, no lie, 87 times, and they're going to show every stab. It's just out of control, ridiculous. I loved it. I loved it.
And they say you're negative.
Great movie. It's a great movie. I mean, it's a typical like
fantastic. Feel good.
It felt good, not scary, just gross. Just gross. But Art the Clown is pretty terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. And there's Terrifier 3 is in the works, so I'm pumped. I can't wait. You have not watched these, John.
Well, I saw Terrifier 1, and it's not my kind of horror movie. A lot of just I don't mind Friday the 13th.
Gory.
No, you know what it is? If like when I was watching the movies, there's a lot of like sexism, right? Like usually in the beginning of the movies, like there's a lot of sexism. And like right now I watch it and go, God, the 80s were a crazy place. But I'm realizing now, movie after movie, they're just setting these guys up because they're assholes, right? So when a guy is like a sexist asshole, then when Jason kills him, you feel good about it. You're like, good, get that fucking asshole, you know? But like when I watch him just kill, I mean, there was one movie where he kills a girl who he has literally not interacted with the whole movie, and she's just in her room dancing to 80s music, and he kills her. He sneaks up on her, and he just kills her. It's not a dramatic kill. There's no story behind why he killed her or what she was doing. She's minding her own business, just having a good time. She doesn't even, she turns around, he's there, he grabs her by the throat, kills her. And like, I don't get anything out of that. It's like, okay,
good point.
Like if you're going to do it, like you're saying with Terrifier, make it a creative kill, or you got to give me something, or make it like he killed somebody I really hate or something like that. That's what like makes Elm Street movies a little better, is he is killing innocent people who don't want to be killed, but he's doing it in these really weird, bizarro ways, which is like, okay. But like Friday the 13th, it's like he'll just sneak up on people, kill them, and they don't deserve to be killed. And it's really like a stab to the chest. And it's like,
I think you'd like Scream a little bit more, because Scream, at least there's there's rationales of who's doing the killings, and they have their motive, whether it's stupid or not. At least there's
Right.
rationale behind it. The Terrifier is just an effed up, and he's
Like, he's
not,
just killing somebody who went to do their laundry.
and he's not human. He's definitely, he can't be, because of the way he sometimes gets I mean, you saw the first one, right? And he obviously
Yeah.
still is alive, but I don't know if he's like, I don't know if we'll ever know. You know, it's kind of like Michael Myers gets stabbed and shot, and like he doesn't die; he always comes back, right? So it's that same
Yeah.
concept of, is he superhuman or what is he? Is he? But Terrifier 2, give it a watch. I mean, it's gory, it's gross, it's over the top, but it's comical. Like, there's times, like I said, he's shoving mashed potatoes in this dead woman's face, and it's
freaking hilarious.
And the 13-year-old son is watching. Like, it's just, it's stupid, but it, like, literally makes you laugh out loud.
Was Amy watching this with you, or you just?
No, I was homesick Monday, and I actually, like, I didn't even work. I just clocked out, and I was like, I am just watching this movie.
No, if I can't even, I don't really enjoy Friday the 13th. I'm watching it out of just historical record.
Sure.
And that's it. But I'm watching it and like, this is dumb. I'm not even really having a great time. I'm just feeling good. Like that I've actually seen it now and I understand it, but I'm like, okay, this is dumb.
This is only one movie. You should watch it.
All right. No, I can't wait for the next episode. Talk about some other ones there. And Trick or Treat was a good one from last year. I might give that another go.
I haven't watched that in a long time. I want to watch that one again.
That movie has great replay value because of the way they film it.
But that's one of those movies, awesome idea, but I feel like it's not as good as it could have been, if I remember correctly. But I gotta give it another chance.
Yeah, because it has the 4 stories that intersect with each other. So when you watch it again, you see things. Makes it interesting.
I want to watch it.
All right. We have a bunch of questions.
We do.
I'm going to kick us off though with a question that I got from Reddit, because I like reading these questions off Reddit. What is the hardest level or boss you have played in a Nintendo Switch game? And I haven't even thought about this one.
I haven't either.
Actually, I haven't even read the rest of these questions.
Me either. So I hope you go first.
The hardest level or boss, I will say the hardest game that I've played on the Switch by far is Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh,
but I don't know if I could pick out a level or a boss out of it. I'd have to really look and see which games I've played maybe this year.
Some of the Cuphead bosses are hard. I mean, that's the ones but they're meant to be that way. So I don't know if that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, but I mean, hard is hard.
Yeah.
I tell you, Elden Ring was last year, right? Wow, Elden Ring was last year. The last few bosses in Elden Ring were probably the hardest thing I had to do in the last couple years for sure. But yeah, toughest bosses. Gosh, Octopath Traveler 2. The final boss in Octopath Traveler 2 kind of ruined the whole Octopath series for me. But you go through Octopath 2 and you do all the different chapters for all the different characters, but it does culminate in like sort of this final battle. So you've finished all the 8 storylines, but there's a final battle, and the first game was just like this too, that there's this like sort of final battle. And oh my god, it was like I used up all my items and all my people and whatever, and then it just makes you fight a whole other boss battle, and it was like, forget it. And I left it unfinished. So basically Octopath 1 and 2 were the same. I did all the 8 storylines and then never like did the final thing. It was just way too hard. And then I looked up online to see if there was like some way to make it easier. And they basically said, no, you got to level up all the characters to at least level 50. And it's like, oh, fuck that. Because there's always characters you don't really care much about. It was going to take too much grinding. I think that's the hardest boss that I've played.
Some of the other ones, Ori, when they have like the bosses that you also have like the chases, like, and again, I think they're meant to be. You're not going to just beat it, but like some of them, you're replaying that scene like 30, 50 times before you finally beat it.
Any Ascension 20 boss for you in Slay the Spire?
Oh yes. Well, the problem in Slay the Spires is I've never done it. You have to beat 2 bosses. But that's a good point. Now that we're on that topic, like speaking of Slay the Spire, what do you consider one of the hardest bosses? Because there's like what, 5 of them maybe?
Like final boss or any
Final boss,
boss?
final boss, right? So there's the one that's hard. He's kind of like a four-legged dog-like thing that he has 2 minions of, and then when you kill him, he has 300 health. He resurrects now with spikes, and he has another 300 health.
Yes, I was gonna
And
point out
he
that
removes all of his what's the word? Like
debuffs.
debuffs that you have on him. So, like for example, if you're using poison or anything that you had on him and you builded it up, he gets rid of it all. He's probably the toughest one.
Yeah, when I won with the defect, I lost to him the first time when I thought I had a great deck.
Yeah, he's tough.
And then I fought him again the second time, and I just barely beat him. Like barely beat him. He's a pain in the butt. The other one, for some reason, I don't like. It's like a devil guy. He sits on top of a seat.
Oh yeah, he's kind of hard.
He's got a huge amount of HP, and he summons
keeps summoning guys. Yeah,
yeah, and like even if you kill those guys, they come back, which I freaking hate. Because when I fight bosses in games, it's always a battle of, do you go after the main guy or do you go after the minions?
He brings them back like every 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah, I always go after the minions and then wait for the boss.
Me too.
But then he brings them back, so it's like it's a pain in the butt.
Hades was hard the first few times you get to him. Was like very hard. Once you beat him a couple times and you really knew his patterns and you knew what to do and you were stronger, not as bad.
Yep. That reminds me. Oh, go ahead.
The last one I'll say is Enter the Dungeon, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was it a dragon? I forget what the very final boss was. I don't know if I've ever even beat him. I made it to him a few times.
I never did.
But he's hard.
You reminded me. I made a little backlog of games I want to replay.
Mm-hmm.
And I put Hades on there, especially just in the run up to Hades 2.
I'll play. I want
to do a perfectly clean save and start all over. And I didn't realize you can romance that first boss girl who has the kind of the hot voice.
Yeah.
So I want to focus on that second playthrough.
I think I want to play Enter the Dungeon again.
Yeah, I've never got close to beating that game.
So fun.
And you saw they're selling Enter the Gungeon, Exit the Dungeon as like a one game thing. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
You don't have it physically. It's a great time.
I don't.
All right. We've got a bunch of questions. Let's get to it. First question is from Bob Kuzi. And he asked a question we were just asking the other day. This is right on. It's like he's listening in on conversations my wife and I are having. Is Jurassic Park a horror movie?
I'm going no.
I say no. My wife has resisted having the kids watch Jurassic Park for like 10 years. She's willing to do it now. So I don't know, like even a couple years ago, maybe still too. I don't know. But she says it's a scary movie. And I go, it's not a scary movie. And then even Sebastian said, there's a couple jump scares in it. Because I think he saw it in school. There's a couple jump scares, but it's not scary. Yeah. But my wife is very sensitive to scary movies.
That's not scary.
No. Why have people started saying spooky instead of scary? I feel like that has only happened you got to let me finish the question here, Drew. This isn't Jeopardy.
I thought you were pausing. I'm sorry.
I feel like that has only happened in the last 3 years. Bring back scary.
I think we've been using the word spooky for some time, John, on this podcast. And I look at spooky like, think of Luigi's Mansion. Mm-hmm. That's spooky, right? It's the Halloweenish theming of spooky, right? You use spooky a lot with kids, I think, so they don't get scared. Like, oh, is it scary? It's not scary. It's like Nightmare Before Christmas. Not a spooky movie. I mean, not a scary movie. It's just spooky. It's the spooky theme, right? I still use the word scary, and I'm all on board, Coos. I think scary is the way to go. The Terrifier is not for me, but it could be very scary for some people, right? So could Friday the 13th, right? So could Scream. But I think spooky is just the idea of having like a Halloween movie for kids or something like that. You could call it the theme of spooky. That's the difference for me, at least. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I mean, I looked up the definitions and they're pretty much the same, but you're right. Like, I think of spooky as kind of just a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I I agree with that. But in the beginning of the show, you said spooky and scary, and I was like, oh, he read that question, didn't he? Gotta say scary around Kuzi. Don't want to make him mad.
Mm.
John, what are the wife's thoughts on the Animal Crossing Legos? She was excited to see it. She didn't go nuts over it. I think once we see the actual Lego sets, maybe she'll get more excited about it. But right now, I think it was just sort of, let's see what these look like.
Yep.
Drew, the Patriots haven't been this bad in 25 years. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I think we talked about it a little bit. I'd rather watch the Red Zone than the Patriots at this point.
And remember, Drew, no matter how bad it is for our teams, we have combined to win 9 Super Bowls since the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl.
Wow.
Gran Turismo 7 is out. The Gran Turismo did not exist the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl.
Wow.
Point that out.
Because he had that pulled ready to go.
I had that from earlier today. I did say I'm jealous of the 49ers organization. They're just so organized.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
The Broncos traded Randy Gregory, who's a disgruntled veteran, to them. I'm sure he's going to get like 40 sacks now. But you know what? Like, it's been bad, but hey, we've won some titles. Laffer writes, if you were to spend a week at the Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas, and that's where Jesse is right now. Is he in the Atlantis, or I'm not even sure if he's at Atlantis, but he's
at Atlantis. I think that's where the wedding was.
How much time would you be spending at the golf course?
Well,
I'll answer it. All of his time.
I've been to Atlantis, believe it or not, in the Bahamas. And I actually didn't stay there. We were there for a cruise, so we did the day visit. And Atlantis is a pretty cool place if you've never been. They have an amazing aquarium as well as an amazing water park. They have the coolest lazy river I've ever been to, where and I don't know if you went in that, Jesse, but it has actually, I think you mentioned you did not. The lazy river, it takes a while to go around, but it has like different parts of it. There's this one part it funnels you onto a treadmill, and the treadmill goes up, 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 and then it just goes directly into a water slide, and the water slide just goes down, and the water slide goes directly underground into a tunnel that you're just sitting in. And
they've shown that on the commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. And it has like sharks and fish swimming around you. And then you'll come out of it. And then you're like, you're back to the lazy river. And then all of a sudden you hit like whitewater rapids on your tube. And it's just this amazing lazy river that has like multiple points with like the treadmills are going up and it's super cool. I just sat on that for a couple hours. I just kept doing loops. Between that and the aquarium was awesome. But to answer your question, I would love to play golf there. The course looked beautiful when I was there. The place is huge. There's a casino. There's a lot to do. You're also right down in downtown Bahamas in Nassau, which is also some cool places that you'll see. So I'm excited. Sweet. I hope you had a fun time there. It's a nice place.
Sweet. Darth Platypus asks, what horror movie do you feel you would survive the longest in? Which do you think you'd be the first to go? Are they asking? So is he asking if you and I?
Yes. Like if me and you, what horror movie would we last, maybe survive, and which one would we be the first one to die?
What are the nominees? Nightmare on Elm Street, no, because I would just fall asleep and die.
Let's stay with like the classics, right? I would say. So Scream, since I've been watching it, the one thing about Ghostface in all the movies as the villain is that he sprints nonstop. Like when he's in the house, he's sprinting around corners. He's running up the stairs, like trying to stab at your feet. Like that's like a real villain. It's not like Michael Myers or Jason, who's like just walking at you. And then you're like, just run, you escape. Like Ghostface, I feel like I'd be dead because even if I'm agile and quick, which I'm not, he would still get me because he's always just fast. And he doesn't bullshit around. But surviving, to my point, I feel like in Halloween, Michael Myers doesn't run. He just walks places. So I feel like I could easily get away from him if I could outsmart Michael Myers.
But nobody does, right? Because they run, and then they like quiet, and he's there. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
if you ever watch Jason, when Jason is like on screen, like at the end of all the Friday the 13th movies are very similar.
Yeah.
And at the end is always like a more extended fight against Jason. And whenever he's on the screen for those, he's a wimp, man. You throw anything at him, he's like, oh, But when he's just basically like swinging a sword out of the side screen, he's like an invincible, immovable force.
Agreed.
So like, if I can get Jason on the screen, I feel like I can totally take him out. I get the wimpy Jason.
He's a big boy though, isn't he? Like tall and just big.
He's very big,
like
and I don't understand how he sneaks up on people. He's got to be so loud.
Yeah, he's just like a big dude.
But yeah, like Nightmare on Elm Street is like you could fall asleep and die. There's no way. I fall asleep all the time.
How tall is
what other options would there be though?
Jason Voorhees.
He's got to be huge.
6'5". I knew he's like a big boy.
Yeah.
Who's the tallest character? Ooh, Pennywise is 8 feet.
8 feet. Doesn't seem like he's 8 feet.
What do you think of those movies? Have you seen the newer ones?
Not a fan. I mean, like I just didn't love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't. I'd have to look at some other like scary movie universes. There's not that many scary movie universes.
Good one.
Evil Dead universe, I always found frustrating because it's like it's just a camera that's winding its way through the forest.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is that I'm running from or scared of. So that,
it's tough.
You get possessed and it's all over, right? But yeah, and I need to watch the Halloweens. I the same thing with Friday the 13th. I haven't seen many of the Halloweens. I was younger.
I've seen those are my favorite growing up.
Okay. So I'll have to watch those sometime. But
what about like Texas Chainsaw Massacre? He's pretty. I feel like I wouldn't make it, but I don't know if I'd be the first.
I haven't watched that one either.
I mean, he's a little bit in between like a Michael Myers and Jason. He's a little aggressive. He's not supernatural though. I think he's just a psychopath.
He's just a guy with like a skin mask or something.
Yeah, and he wears and uses a chainsaw.
All right. Beer Cerveza writes, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. Seems to be the Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Unless Art the Clown makes it someday on the Mount Rushmore. Marry, fuck, kill.
You want to go first or me?
I'll go first.
Okay.
It's a tough one. None of them are really fuckable.
Agreed.
Feel like Freddy Krueger would be the best in bed. He's creative. He's killed people in bed. So, as long as he doesn't kill me, I'm good. So I'd say I fuck Freddy Krueger. Michael Myers seems the most dapper of the villains because Jason dies at the end of the 4th movie. And then he comes back in the 6th movie.
They always come back.
And so he must reek of death. I mean, he was buried for like 10 years or something. He had worms all over him.
Well, wasn't he already dead to begin with?
He's not showering. Yeah, I guess so. But he was buried and he had like worms in him. So I would say I'd have to kill Jason Voorhees. And I feel like Michael Myers would be someone to settle down with.
Huh. All right. I'm similar. I think Michael Myers is a settling down type. One, he doesn't talk either. So probably great relationship person, just doesn't talk to you. I do now disagree. Freddy Krueger is just a fucked up guy. I don't think I want to have to deal with him at all. And I'll go even further to say I've met and I've hung out with Robert Englund several times who played Freddy Krueger. And as great of a guy he is, he also has that side of that Freddy side where he like is fucked up and I don't want to deal with that. So I think Freddy's got to die. He's got to go. Jason Voorhees, as much as I don't want to fuck him, I think it's hopefully just a one-night stand, take it in the ass and move on. And that's it.
Woo.
That's how I'm going.
Right through the hockey mask.
Yeah. Keep the mask on, please.
All right. Same 3.
Yeah.
Using the same group, rank them in order from scariest to least scariest.
I'm going Freddy scariest, then Jason, and then Michael.
I think I'm doing the same. The thing about it is Jason just looks like, he looks really cool right now in the phase of movies I'm in. He looks really cool with the mask.
Yeah.
He didn't have the mask. You didn't see him really in the first one. He didn't have the mask in the second one. It wasn't until like the third one he got the mask. And the third one was like a horrible movie. But Freddy Krueger comes in different forms. You don't know where he's going to jump out from.
It's creepy. The idea of him's creepy. Everything about him.
Michael Myers is so similar in a way, but I think his mask is... did you know that Michael Myers mask is based on William Shatner? William Shatner mask? I think it's hilarious. But he doesn't super scare me like anywhere like Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees.
No. I do love those movies though, but I agree.
Okay. Last question, another multi-parter. Choose one. Oh, I forgot about this one. Choose
this might be
one.
The best question we've ever got.
It might be. Choose one. This is from Max Power, by the way. Choose one. You receive every future Nintendo console and every game released for them free of charge for the rest of your life.
That's a lot.
Second choice, a weekend with Anna Kendrick or celebrity of your choice before you were married, of course. 3, a round of golf at Augusta National with Tiger Woods and the incomparable Rory McIlroy. Obviously, 3 is out for me. I can't. So like really it's a choice between 1 and 2 for me.
For you, can we make like a baseball analogy or is there something that we could sports wise give you as an option?
Or you're not probably not. There's nothing. Hanging out with a dude athlete for a sporting event will never compete with Anna Kendrick. So it's just not happening. And he says a celebrity of your choice. I don't know who I would interchange there. I mean, like, I don't know. Anna Kendrick would be fun. But I had to think about it.
Correct.
Yeah. Maybe like a younger Selma Hayek. I don't know. It's a tough one because with Nintendo, see, when I first read this, I thought it said you get, what did I think? Oh, that you would get every future Nintendo console as a kid. Like I'd get a Switch in the 80s. No,
this is like as they come out, they're like you get this just for free, and here's every game release is just digitally downloaded to you when it.
So here's the thing: that would be cool. Don't get me wrong.
It's just money. All it's giving you is
just
free money.
And I'm not going to play all the games. I'm not going to play every game anyway.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you there.
So how much? Basically, saying is how much is a memorable, never to be forgotten weekend with Anna Kendrick or a celebrity of my choice versus I don't have to pay $60 for Wargroove or something, $20 for Wargroove.
Yeah, not worth it. I agree.
Feel like I'm missing out. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess the question will be, what is the celebrity of your choice? And in what time period, right? If I was younger, I'd be like, oh, Pamela Anderson or, Cindy Crawford or something like that. But who is the celebrity?
Anna Kendrick's the right choice there. For I'm just saying for celebrity choice. I'm not saying that's my final answer, but
I'm going to think about the celebrity and I'm going to hear you talk about what you would choose.
I 100% agree with you. Statement 1, Nintendo. That's off the table. Weekend with Anna Kendrick. Here's the thing. Even if it was before I'm married, Anna Kendrick is not gonna hook up with me or marry me after this weekend. Let's be blunt.
Right? No, this has nothing to do with. Let's straighten it out. Then it is a weekend. Let's say it's a weekend, maybe hanging out in Hawaii or some tropical place.
Just
and you can have sex as many times as you want. She's into it.
You didn't say that's the whole different ball game.
Oh, you're saying that's not implied here?
I don't think that's
a weekend with Anna Kendrick before. Why would he say before you were married?
I mean, I think you still have. You think she's just going to have uncontrollable sex with you as much as you want? I think she's still a human being. What if it's the weekend she's under?
Hypothetical here. So the hypothetical is
that weekend
you were hanging out. Man, you're just ruining this. What if Tiger Woods was beating his girlfriend that weekend? Let's say this: you're hanging out. You're on vacation. You're having sex whenever, having some dinner, just hanging out, doing whatever it is you want to do. Maybe
I don't think that's fair.
Just watching golf with Anna Kendrick.
I don't think that's a fair assessment. I think I need to go into this with what would really happen if it was Anna Kendrick and myself. And the truth is, maybe I did a little bit of a view if she bends over down her shirt, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to hang out with this chick for the weekend and I'm going to have fun because I love her and I'm going to be like nervous because she's hot and I don't know what to do.
Oh God, you've butchered this. No
Not
way.
I'm being realistic. You think I just don't think you think you're just gonna go hang out with her and just bang her. Like that sounds all great and everything, but it's not gonna happen.
You're never gonna get this choice. It's a fantasy choice. You can't say, "Well, I wouldn't want to do it because my wife would be mad at me." I
Listen,
mean,
we
like,
all know what's there this is going. I love Anna Kendrick. She's the hottest girl on the planet. But you gotta look at option 3 here for a second. Option 3 has a lot in this small sentence. You're playing a round of golf at Augusta National. For those that don't know what that is where the Masters are held. You can't simply just walk on to Augusta National, right? That's not an option. So as a golfer, that is like your dream golf course. Like it doesn't get better than playing Augusta National. That is a price tag that is in the millions of dollars. It's not achievable, right? Now, throw in the best two golfers, maybe of all time, Tiger Woods and Rory. I gotta go option 3 here. This is just a no-brainer. Just to simply, even if I shot a 300, just to simply be on a tee box and watch these guys swing and hit a golf ball is better than any tits in my face. I'm sorry. I'm a true golfer at heart.
I cannot believe you chose golf over a weekend of sex.
That's not what this is. This is not unlimited sex with Anna Kendrick. That's not what the question is. That's not what the statement says.
I'm still going with it's a weekend of just hanging out and sex. And I was looking through a list of the hottest celebrities, and this is interesting.
Okay.
You start thinking,
so you just Googled the hottest celebrities?
it's in incognito mode. If you're gonna be hanging out for a weekend and having sex, I don't know. Like Anna Kendrick just seems like the coolest person to just hang out with and be married to. Like in an FMK, right? She's the married girl, right?
Yeah.
But what about like if it's sex for a weekend? And here is a very interesting, open your mind to this. Here is an interesting celebrity you can substitute in. You ready?
Hmm.
Miley Cyrus.
For real? Why is she hot?
I wouldn't rate her at the top of the hot scale, but man, that would be a fun weekend. Like that would be a fun weekend, right? No?
I mean, she's not on like a top 10 list of fun weekends in my eyes.
Well,
I'm sorry.
number one on this list is Kylie Jenner. So it's like, well, I don't think I could hang out with Kylie Jenner at all. What about Jennifer Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay, here's one. This might be fun. Margot Robbie. Number 2, Zendaya.
Nah, she doesn't do it for me. She sounds like a cool chick, but not for, yeah.
What about the other adorable one, Kristen Bell?
Kristen Bell? What's the other? Our other endorkables is Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel. I wouldn't say Mila Kunis is on that list, right? Vanessa Hudgens? I don't know. It's hard. There's not a lot that really get on the adorkable list besides those 3. I'm just trying to see who would make for that fun weekend, right? If you're going to pick anybody.
But you also don't know this. I'm just being realistic, John. It's not like you know this person.
Pretend that you do.
I'm not pretend. I don't know Tiger Woods either. But at least it's a celebrity. I'm golfing with the guy for 5 hours and then I'm done. That's it. I'm just being realistic.
Okay. All right. So let's be realistic then. You go golfing with Tiger and Rory, and you just like they finish. They're like they do their driver shot, and then you go and they just look at each other and they just roll their eyes and they're like, "Oh Jesus Christ, this guy!"
I'm gonna play with this asshole.
100 yards, like that's what do you drive?
I'm like 275.
275. What is Tiger Woods driving? What is prime Tiger Woods driving?
They're hitting the ball like 340, 350.
Okay, you're not bad. I actually would
But
have
they
thought.
probably have better accuracy than I do as well.
Oh, I see. You're going the wrong way.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I mean, if you had this like fairway percentage, I might be like 55, where they're probably like 80.
Right, right. So they look at each other, rolling their eyes. Then you're on the fairway and you try to hit the green and you get in the sand and they're like, Jesus Christ, this guy, like, we're going to be here forever. That becomes your nightmare. That's your monkey paw scenario.
I don't think you know what, guys, I'm going to pitch up this hole. I'm just going to watch you play. It's like walking inside the ropes at the Masters, a private.
Just caddy for one of them.
Just caddy. You know what? I don't need to play. Or would my adrenaline be pumping and I'd be playing great?
Or you could be shooting it even crazier, even just
but that's
further
the same thing
away.
with your performance in bed with Anna Kendrick. You might not perform, just like I might not perform in the golf course, John.
No, I never fail. No.
You might, the opposite of fail. You perform too good, too quick, too fast. Then what?
Yeah, but we're going to do this like 40 times.
Yeah, your dick is going to be raw.
It's all worth it.
It's all worth it.
Just rub some cream in between. I like how we do it. We do a Nintendo podcast, and both of us were like, "Oh, number one, definitely not."
That's definitely not. That's off the table.
I'm gonna hang out with Tiger and Andrew. That's what we picked.
Oh, you know what? Maybe that guy who wrote my review was onto something. Why host a Nintendo podcast?
It's true. I mean, like,
get a 1 star.
I think it shows our priorities, though, that we're after the memorable experience more than just like free games. How many games are you going to play?
Yeah.
How many games can you possibly play?
Listen, options 2 and 3 are not something you can buy. Option 1 is a money value.
Right. Yep. You can imagine 20, like, like what do you go? Like, oh, hey, Drew, I got the new Spider-Man for free. Well, no, that's a Nintendo game. I got Mario for free. And I'm just like, hanging out with Anna Kendrick. That's nice. How was it?
Yeah. Like, just saw Anna's boobies.
Send
you didn't see those in Mario Wonder.
Speaking of wonder flowers.
Maybe I can see Tiger's boobies. Oh, do I get the shower with Tiger and Rory after the match?
Oh, that's got to be included.
Got to be included. Maybe
shower included.
Because you're going to be showering with Anna.
Oh my God, we got to. Yeah, no, yeah, definitely gonna be a shower.
I think I get the locker room shower after.
Okay,
that's worth it.
All right, okay. And she can help me. She can help me manscape.
John, what do we have coming up the next few weeks?
This is the busiest 2 weeks. We are in the middle of the October-November hellscape of wonder and greatness. October 10th, Forza Motorsport makes its way over to Xbox. By the way, another game with early access. You want to play it for free on Game Pass? Cool. You can play it on October 10th, but they actually released it October 5th if you pay $30. I'm telling you, I don't like this early access. I don't care what console. I don't care what game. I don't like this early access. I really hate this. Wildcard Football, October 10th. Dwarf, October 12th. Yeah.
Been waiting years for this game. This is a tower defense roguelike hack and slash. I can't wait for this game.
This has all the hallmarks of the game you've been waiting so long for that you're just not going to like.
This is a Drew game that I'm so pumped. You're absolutely right that I'm going to hate.
Got the word Drew in it.
I do.
It's a Drew. Batman Arkham Trilogy was supposed to come out October 13th. It just got delayed to December 1st. Lords of the Fallen, if you're into Xbox and PS5, October 13th. That game looks awesome. Sonic Superstars comes out October 17th. Gargoyles Remastered comes out October 19th. Jackbox Party Pack 10 comes out October 19th. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged comes out October 19th. And then October 20th, we get Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Spider-Man 2. Anybody bored? There is a lot to play here. How many of these games are you getting? You mentioned Sonic as well, right?
Yeah, Sonic Superstars I'm getting. Dwarf.
Dwarf.
Mario Wonder. That's it. Three.
Okay. I'm doing Mario Wonder. I'm doing Spider-Man 2. And then I'm kind of interested in this wild card football game. It's like an arcadey type
Is it the one with
RPG.
Who's on that?
It's the one with Kaepernick, which is what I was like almost shocked when I saw it. I was like, whoa, but they have like real players. I don't know if they have all the players, but it kind of reminds me of Mutant League Football, where they're going to have well-known players. But you build up your guys and you give them special effects or whatever. I'm going to look at reviews. It's not like I'm pre-ordering it or anything. But I'm curious what the reviews will be. And then if I buy it, I'll probably get it on PlayStation. But I probably won't, but I have my eye on it to see.
Nice.
And then Lords of the Fallen, I'll get down the road. I'm not going to get it day one. I'll wait for a sale. That game looks really cool. Awesome.
That's it.
Trying to not drown in games right now.
That is true.
And spooky movies.
I love spooky.
All right, so congratulations to our 2 winners. It was a
you don't remember.
Pitamizer. Is that how we're pronouncing it? Pitamizer and Better Days 99. Please contact us at our email, dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com, or hit us up on Threads or Instagram at @ndadsafterdark, and we'll get you your prize. But that's it. That's all we got for tonight. Drew's going to be hanging out with Tiger Woods.
Yes.
Rest of this week.
Daniel and Kendrick, apparently.
Me and Andrew hanging out. Maybe Miley Cyrus. I need to decide. Good night, Dads.
Good night.
The Dads After Dark Show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available. If you're listening to Apple or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps us promote our show, and we'd be grateful to hear your feedback. Check us out on Threads and Instagram at @NDadsAfterDark. Send us a question to dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the show. Or if you want to hear yourself on the show, leave us a voicemail. You can see the episode description for a link to do that. Be sure to join us on Discord in our Dads After Dark channels. That's where we chat. You can participate in our monthly Mayhem contest, plus other activities such as Chubbies and so on. You can get access by joining the Nintendo Dads Patreon or by subscribing to their Twitch channel. A big thank you to Family Jewels for the show's music. Check out their YouTube to hear other awesome Nintendo cover tunes.